is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, Patty. Welcome, everybody, to DBL. It is Tuesday, June 1st. 1st of June, Rabbit, Rabbit. It's good luck to say that on the 1st of every month.
Rabbit, Rabbit?
Rabbit, Rabbit.
I didn't know that. Where does that come from?
I have no idea, but I read that it's lucky. So I'm going to say it.
Huh.
Because I believe in luck. I'm here with Jeff and Erica. The three of us auditioned together. We're back for this. We made it on the show. Can you believe it? How is
I can't believe we're all here after that Rabbit, Rabbit intro.
You know. Are you staying with us, everyone? All right. How was everyone's Memorial Day weekend? Were there plans? What happened? Everybody go. Erica, start.
Okay. Well, there weren't
official plans, but you know, we spend the weekends with the kiddos for Casa, and so they wanted to go to the movie theater, which was really crazy because we had just had that conversation about going to the movie theater. I'm like, oh no, it's going to be a minute. It's probably been 10 years since I've gone to see a movie.
And explain what Casa is really quick for people.
It's court-appointed special advocates. So these are children who need just a little bit more support because they're in the system. So we spend our weekends with them, and they wanted to see Raya and the Last Dragon, and it was so awesome. We went to this movie theater, and we were the only ones in the theater, and I was like, man, the come up on movie theaters, there were reclining chairs, there were the little cup holders, and thank God we were the only ones because the 7-year-old had a question every 5 seconds.
That's hard.
And he didn't understand volume, so we just acted like we were in our living room, basically.
That's amazing.
That's awesome to get back into a theater. I haven't been in over a year and a half.
I know. I'm still nervous, but hearing that is a good entryway.
Absolutely.
And they deliver your concessions to you.
When was the last time you went to a theater?
Yeah, they do that a lot,
10,
Erica.
11 years ago.
They do that a lot.
Because those are the new theaters.
Yeah, I feel like that's not new.
Erica's like, they have a cup holder? Welcome back. I'm glad you have fun. I didn't make it to the theaters, but we did have our community, like in our neighborhood where we live. We had on Thursday, we had a band playing. And then on Friday, they opened up a pool and had another band and like balloon animals, and they painted the kids' faces.
You have a great neighborhood.
Great neighborhood. So lucky we moved in there. But it was kind of a kids' weekend for me, you know, and we did the regular barbecue. We had a friend in town staying with us on Friday, which is nice to have people come over and see the house. And then it rained all weekend on Saturday and Sunday, so we kind of just chilled, and I worked on some fake projects in the garage, you know, trying to be suburban dad.
I love it. Mr. Dad.
How about you? What did you do?
I unfortunately had to chill very hard because Barnaby, our dear dog, had surgery, and he kept taking his sutures out, so we had to put this on him.
Is that an airplane?
It's like a little blow-up thing. That's him getting a puppuccino. He's very, very, very sad, and it's to protect him from taking out the sutures again.
A puppuccino.
Yeah, you can get them at Starbucks for free. They're just whipped cream. They're just whipped cream.
Well, he's feeling better.
Yes, he's feeling better. And to anyone out with puppers, they know how scary that can be. All right, let's move on. Did you all hear about Naomi Asaka? The tennis star has withdrawn from the French Open, and she is stepping back from tennis. Now, this comes just days after her announcement that she would not do press because of her mental health struggles. She also revealed a lot more about it, saying on Twitter that she's had bouts of depression, social anxiety, and a fear of public speaking. Now, Naomi's decision has a lot of tennis stars speaking out, some defending her, while others are talking about how doing press is kind of part of the job. So Billie Jean King said, quote, "While it's important that everyone has the right to speak their truth, I've always believed that as professional athletes, we have a responsibility to make ourselves available to the media." Check out Serena Williams and Patrick McEnroe's take on it. Take a look.
The only thing I feel is that I feel for Naomi. I feel like I wish I could give her a hug because I know what it's like.
She is a professional tennis player. She's an athlete, so you have to abide by certain rules, one of which is speaking to the press on a regular basis.
She said, though, she was somewhat protesting that rule by doing this preemptively because some rules were, quote, outdated, she said. Erica, what's your take on this?
I think when someone cries out for help, it's important that we listen. I respect that tennis players who have paved the way are weighing in on this. However, I would challenge the notion that we're living in a very different society than even when Billie Jean King was at her top, or McEnroe, because they had almost a privilege in a sense that they didn't have social media. They didn't have like a 24/7 everyday news cycle happening. So I feel like now you become a celebrity and you're preyed upon in a way that they never were.
That's totally fair. Jeff?
Yeah, I totally hear what Erica's saying. When it comes to mental health, it's a new conversation, right? We've never had these in the past. But you did sign a contract, and you are a commodity to be these people who are investing their money. Whether you're making a movie, you have to go out and do press. This is in every sport. People have been fined in basketball, baseball, football for not showing up after the game. Now, if you don't want to show up and just continue to take that penalty, which a lot of people did, I believe it was Chad Ochocinco, he didn't show up for a while. Don't quote me on that. But he kept getting fined.
He just takes the L.
He wouldn't talk to the press, but he kept getting fined, right? But you are selling a product. So if it's the U.S. Open that you're selling or a game, you need to promote your product. And that's what they're doing with these athletes. So until they change that rule, you're either going to take that penalty or you got to go talk to the press.
It's so funny you said commodity, because my first instinct was she's so not a commodity, and they're acting like she needs to be used for them to make money and to have press, and too bad. She's leaving. And that's a protest against an idea that she's a thing and not a human who doesn't like public speaking. She's not an actor. She's not in an entertainment role. She's an athlete, and she likes to be an introvert. So I thought, what a cool protest, and then they doubled down, so she left.
Well, and that's her choice.
Right.
That's her choice. And by commodity, it means like a commercial, an advertisement for them, right? From Michael Jordan all the way down. You're a commodity to the people who are investing, the owners, into that product.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting that she's bringing it up and she's an introvert. It's hard to be the head of a protest and be so very quiet. That's not easy to do.
Well, but look at the way that she protested.
Yeah, with the hats.
You know, it was
right.
the hats. It was the face mask. She spoke out, but she wasn't as vocal as some of the other people. It was in written form. Like, some people just communicate differently.
Yeah.
And she's in a position where she can make that decision for herself. And like, isn't she worth like $58 million or something?
She seems like a lot. Seems like a lot.
If she wants to walk away for a while, that's completely within her right to do so.
Well said. Good convo. Let us know what you think. All right, let me ask you this. This is important because I am shocked by this. How many of you at home, and I'm going to ask you too, have heard of the Tulsa Race Massacre or were even taught about it in school? Show of hands. 2. Anyone in the studio? I was not. No. Okay, I was not taught about this. Okay.
So you don't know what happened?
I learned it recently, and I'm embarrassed to say that. I'll be super honest. I was not taught, and I went to a very progressive school.
Okay.
All right, if you didn't know, yesterday marked the 100th anniversary of the massacre. So 100 years ago, a white mob killed an estimated 300 black Tulsa residents. More than 30 square blocks of homes and businesses were burned, looted, turned into rubble. It happened in the Greenwood district, which was known as, at the time, of course, as Black Wall Street. And as you just saw, a lot of us didn't learn about the Tulsa Race Massacre because it was not taught in school. Super embarrassing to talk to you about this. Many people first learned about what happened from the HBO series Watchmen, which featured the events in one of its episodes. And last night, CBS aired a documentary about it, which featured a 107-year-old survivor, Viola Fletcher, who talked about what she lost. Take a look at this.
Good education and a nice home and a quiet neighborhood and family. All of that was taken. There's so many things, you know, that I'm still living without now.
107. Erica, what do you know about this? What do you feel about this? And is it shocking that I didn't know about this? Is it embarrassing?
It's not shocking that you didn't know about it. I only knew about it because I took an African American history class in college.
Wow.
So I was about 20 when we had this conversation, and it wasn't as expansive as the conversation that we're having right now. This was such a pivotal moment because for Tulsa, this was a PR issue. It was a PR nightmare. No one wanted people to know that a massacre, a race massacre, had occurred because it didn't look great for the city. Now, what's happened since in terms of commissions, they have raised over $30 million on the names and stories of these survivors. There are 3 survivors that are currently speaking out between the ages of 100 and 107. Viola's younger brother is 100 years old, who then went on to become a World War II veteran.
Wow.
So the idea that these survivors have not reaped any benefit from the amount of money and attention that has been brought to the Tulsa massacres is actually just salt in the in an open wound. And then you talk about the mass graves. This was about the dismantlization of Black generational wealth, and there is no way to make up for that. So if the commission does not review, they're talking about restitution, other ways that they can have social justice to rectify this, which can never be rectified. But it's much like what happened in Manhattan Beach that we were all learning about. In 1924, when a Black family was stripped of their property, which is now worth hundreds of millions of dollars, there's no way to get that back. Right. So we need to talk about restitution in a real form here.
And I just, quick quickly want to say history is always told by the winners, right? So I never learned this story because, and I'm ashamed of that because this was a story that was hidden, swept under the rug.
You shouldn't be ashamed quickly. I know we have to go now, but you shouldn't be ashamed because it wasn't until the 70s that this story actually came to light. They were repressing the story. They didn't want anybody to know about the story on purpose, right?
Wow.
So I know we got to run, but I could talk more about it.
I appreciate that, Jeff. We'll be right back. Thanks, guys.
Closed captioning provided by...
This is a Smile Direct Club aligner. It's how Smile Direct Club safely and gently...
There are two main reactions to those videos. One is, aw, cute. The other one is, ew, don't they know we're in a pandemic? But as more people are getting vaccinated, some couples are currently in a spot where one partner is vaccinated and the other one isn't. And that can make sharing a kiss a little awkward. A verified viewer who wants to remain anonymous wrote to us asking, can a fully vaccinated person give COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing? So my anonymous kissing bandit, this one is for you. Let's verify. Our sources, the Mayo Clinic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Stuart Ray, professor at Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Yes, you can spread it, and yes, you can contract it, but the risk is a lot lower than it was before being vaccinated.
And Dr. David Sullivan, a professor of molecular biology and immunology at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health.
So theoretically, yes, but the chances are low.
A recent article from the Mayo Clinic confirms COVID-19 can be transmitted through kissing, stating, coming into contact with a person's spit through kissing or other sexual activities could expose you to the virus. And both doctors and the CDC agree. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still contract COVID-19.
There is some residual risk of transmission, and as long as community rates are high, then I think we ought to exercise some caution.
So we can verify this as true. It is possible for a vaccinated person to spread COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing. But according to both doctors, it has more to do with your proximity to each other than the actual kissing. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till. Want something verified? Email us or send us a text. For more Verify stories and to sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com.
To DBL, are you an early riser or night owl that likes to sleep in? Is that, I am, okay. It turns out a huge new study says that waking up just 1 hour earlier could reduce your risk of depression by 23%. Jeff's nodding. I didn't know about this. According to experts, one possible reason is because more exposure to light during the day could help influence your mood. So do you think you could wake up an hour earlier, and what would you do with that extra time? Jeffrey, you were nodding. You know about this?
Well, no, I used to be like
I'm a night owl. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it definitely affected my mood, like when I woke up in the morning. But yes, you can change because we have time change. We have to go back or spring forward or back. So everybody does that at one point. You got to make this a regular thing because if you could get it up an hour early, at least for me, I have kids, get an exercise in, feel good about your day, you have something accomplished before you even start your day, I think it's a big boost for your morality.
I hadn't even thought of this. What do you think?
I mean, I get up to work out. I do all my
You get up
workouts
and
in the
work out too?
morning. Yeah, because if it would never happen if I had to do it after work.
Excuses.
And also, I'm like, okay, well, now I have accountability. Like, I have to be, even when I ride the bike virtually with my mom, like, my mom is calling, like, are you on the bike? You know, so that gets me up and it does help.
I gotta be honest with you, I'm a night owl. I like to stay up and cross stitch, maybe watch some true crime. Who doesn't, right? But my issue is when I get up, I wake up with as much energy as New York City and anxiety. All my anxiety comes in the morning. And I've never once thought of working or doing a workout because I'm kind of a groggy whatever, but perhaps that'll take away. I feel like I could run a marathon with that much anxiety.
You should.
Every morning, every single morning.
Why don't you do that? I gotta drink like a cup of coffee and
No, I don't.
I
actually take decaf. It's, yeah.
Get up and walk the neighborhood. I was doing that when my mom was in town, and I was like, I didn't even know these things existed.
All right, I'm gonna do that. I'll take a walk around the neighborhood.
Yeah, get up or work on your hosting skills.
Cool, sounds good. Coming up on DBL. We're diving deep into the internet's spookiest urban myths that'll make your skin crawl in the Jeff Files.
Oh, speaking of hosting skills.
Yeah, it's real good, I bet. It's coming up next. Just a real winner right there.
Hey, Tori.
Texas Democrats took a bold step to make sure the House would not be able to pass a voting restrictions bill. They walked out before the vote could happen. Let's connect the dots. Every state has a minimum number of lawmakers that have to be there to vote to pass a bill. It's called a quorum. Here in Tar Heel State, only a majority of lawmakers have to be there. But since everything's bigger in Texas, their state constitution says there have to be 2/3 of their voting members present, or it's a no-go. Walkouts are a pretty rare occurrence. In fact, nationwide, there have only been 8 major walkouts in the past 100 years. But political experts say that as politics becomes increasingly partisan, this could become a more common occurrence. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. The internet is filled with urban myths that have lived on for years. Some of them are almost too creepy to believe. I chat with internet sleuths Loie Lane and Eleanor Snitchery to dive deeper in today's Jeff Files. Loie Lane and Snitchery, thank you for coming on DBL. Now, you guys are known as the Gruesome Twosome and hosts of the podcast Internet Urban Legends, the latest Spotify original from Parcast. Now, let's dive into one of the biggest internet myths, the Watcher House.
When a New Jersey family moved into a new home, they began receiving disturbing letters.
The first time I read the letters, I got goosebumps. I've never seen anything like it outside of kind of a horror movie.
This family in New Jersey bought their dream home, then started getting creepy letters, and the letters mentioned weird things like blood and secrets in the basement. And this watcher claims he told the last family to move out.
One letter saying, "All of the windows and doors allow me to watch you and track you as you move through the house."
You guys looked into this. What's going on, and why is the internet so invested in this one?
We did an entire podcast episode, of course, on it, and it's still like, I don't think that anyone can fully understand what is going on with the Watcher House. But essentially, this family buys their dream house, starts doing renovations on it, and they start getting like these weird, threatening letters from someone, basically telling them that they're messing up the integrity of the home, and they've been watching the home for decades and decades. It's just like everyone's worst nightmare, I think. Like moving into a house and finding out that it comes with a built-in stalker.
Yeah.
I think it's a real estate hoax. Okay, I think it's a real estate hoax.
That's
I'm
good.
so convinced they are suing the previous owners. And this is my other theory. This is a little tinfoil hatty, but bear with me. This town, Westfield, is known for 2 things and 2 things only. There's the infamous murder that we talked about on the podcast in the 70s, and it's where the Addams Family creator was born. It's a spooky town. A little part of me thinks that this might be part of a collective tourist trap.
I'm with you. I think that's a good theory, but I just bought a new home, and if I had a letter about ghosts and blood in the basement, I would move out. So guys, let's talk about the Momo challenge because it went viral years ago. We even talked about it on this show.
Online people are claiming this thing pops up in children's YouTube videos. It is a hoax.
It was nuts, and sadly, a young girl died over this. Police had to issue warnings on Facebook, and even Kim Kardashian posted pleading for YouTube to remove it. You talked about it on the Urban Legend podcast. Why were so many people convinced this was real?
I think because it came from kids. The kids thought it was real, right? Like, I think kids are easier to convince. So collectively, the adults maybe bought into it. It's also genuinely a scary image. And the virality of the internet kind of lends itself to something like that being taken seriously. And obviously, it was catalyzed by a real life tragedy. So it makes sense that people would be protective over children. That one's really scary though, and really bizarre.
I couldn't agree more. Let's talk about one more internet myth because I haven't heard about this one. It's called No One Dies at Disney, and you explore a theory that the big mouse doesn't want people to know. What is this all about?
They literally will like cart your body off park premises before allowing you to be declared dead because they can't ruin the sanctity and purity of Disney. That is so bizarre.
And the idea that we could all be at a theme park and there could just be someone who has in fact passed away for one reason or another, but like they won't be pronounced dead until they're at the hospital because Disney doesn't want the liability. It's really weird. And it makes you remember that even though it is the big mouse, he is the face of the corporation, it's still like a crazy corporation.
Yeah, is that real? So if someone has a heart attack, I don't even know if I could say now. You got me all worried about legalizing things. Disneyland, can I say Disneyland? If someone has a heart attack there, they won't pronounce them dead till they're off the grounds?
Yeah, they'll like cart them away. Even if they're fully dead in the park, they will not admit to it.
You guys, I could talk to you guys all day about this stuff, but unfortunately, we're out of time. Loie and Snitchery, thank you guys so much for coming on DBL and DBL Nation. You can listen to their podcast, Internet Urban Legends, exclusively on Spotify. Thanks again, guys.
You can't die at Disney?
I didn't know that one.
I didn't either, but it makes it not the happiest place. It's kind of like the creepiest place. Like that's weird.
You can't pronounce.
You can't pronounce and declare them dead.
Now the dying is just the act of God.
Yeah, right. Even Walt Disney is
But you're not
God.
dead till you're through those happy gates.
Wow, that's so weird. What was one that? Was that the one that's freaked you out the most?
That was one I didn't know. I'm all into urban myths and legends, and those girls are great. They have a great podcast. I listen to it now. I listened to it on the way before that. So they tell a great story way better than me. But I'm so fascinated by all that.
I like those myths. And the Momo stuff really freaks me out. It reminds me of Slender Man.
Yeah.
Which scared me too. Very scary.
There's a little similarity, you and Momo.
We'll be right back.
No comeback?
Promotional consideration is
Pop quiz, category, food. What's starchy, salty, and tastes best fresh out of the fryer? Give yourself 10 points if you guessed French fries, hash browns, or tater tots. So why are we talking about deep fried potatoes? Well, a study from 2017 is making the rounds on the internet again. This time, it claims eating French fries can lead to an early death. Well, this year's claim is slightly different than previous years. This claim is focused on how many times French fries are consumed in a week. So let's verify. Will you die earlier if you eat French fries or hash browns 2 to 3 times a week? Our sources: Dr. Kantha Shelke, food scientist, founder of Corvus Blue LLC, and visiting professor of food safety regulations at Johns Hopkins University. Angela Lehman, registered dietitian nutritionist, chief executive officer, and co-owner of Lehman Nutrition in Plano, Texas, and the national spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Kantha Shelke and Angela Lehman say there are several factors missing from the study.
Many of these people were they had other pre-existing conditions, arthritis, diabetes, etc. It did not look into their lifestyle, which is very important.
Maybe they're not exercising enough. They're eating, high-fat meats with that as well. They're drinking, a lot of sugar in their beverages. So what we need to see is the whole clinical picture of why these people are dying early. And so we can't really just say it's the French fries that's killing them.
1, 2, 3. Still alive. The claim that eating French fries and other fried potatoes 2 to 3 times a week will cause an early death is misleading.
consuming French fries is not going to hurt you or kill you unless you did that in such a way that you excluded other good things with you. But if you like French fries in moderation, absolutely okay.
If you're worried about your fried potato intake, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest healthier alternatives like baking, roasting, steaming, grilling, or broiling. Want something verified? Email your questions to questions@verifythis.com or send a text to 202-410-8808. To check out more stories like this and sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com. Until then, I'm Ariane Till.
As air travel ramps up with more people being vaccinated, the Better Business Bureau is warning consumers of a rise in airfare scams. This is Jeff's favorite story ever. Scammers are reportedly targeting people by selling airline tickets through fake booking sites or customer service numbers. To avoid falling victim to these con artists, make sure to research the company before making a purchase. Also, always double check that URL, that web title, to make sure you're using a secure site. And lastly, use your credit card just in case you need to dispute the charges. When it comes to your financial assets, Lifelock is here to help. Lifelock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. Call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more.
I can't stand people. Like seriously, I cannot stand people. Like just go out and make your own money. Don't be scared. And then these are people who are already searching for a deal, which means that money might be tight, and you're gonna scam them.
And they need a break. They need a vacay.
They'd be millionaires if they just, did it the right way.
Well said. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.
I love you.
Tennis champ Naomi Asaka pulls out of the French Open for her mental health after refusing to talk to the media, the praise and the backlash. the simple change in your daily routine that could lower your depression risk by more than 20%. Kate Winslet's body image battle, why she fought to keep this love scene unedited in her new miniseries. And we're chatting live with comedian and TV host Howie Mandel.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Patty. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, June 1st. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Miss Tori joins us from home. All right, so how was everyone's Memorial Day weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
I did have a great weekend. So I was discussing just last week how I haven't been to the movies in like 100 years. And our kiddos wanted to go to the movies, so we went to see Raya and the Last Dragon, which was so
good?
amazing.
Okay.
It was. It was really good. I guess it's coming out on Disney Plus later in the month. But it was awesome. We were the only ones in the theater. Like, we had the theater to ourselves, like just the four of us, which was great because the 7-year-old had a lot of questions. A lot of questions, and the questions continue throughout the entire movie. But it was awesome. The seats reclined.
Oh, so you haven't been there in a minute, girl.
Yeah, I was like,
so tell me. So you never had reclining seats?
I've never had a reclining seat.
The food being delivered?
The food was delivered. I mean, I was so excited because they were like, oh, do you want to see Cruella? We didn't even know. And they're like, no, we want to see Raya. And I'm like, is that a movie? So I'm Googling, you know. And then I found the theater, and I'm like, okay, well, I better get the seats right away because, of course, it's only in an hour. And then I'm doing the seats, and it's like, would you like to add concessions? And I was like, well, of course. And then it said, would you like it delivered? I'm like, oh, yes, absolutely. And I had like all the backup layers because throughout the movie, they decide they don't want just popcorn. Now they want Sour Patch Kids. And who got the Sour Patch Kids before they even asked? It was all in the bag. Everything was in the bag.
And Jeff and I know the best way to silence kids is snacks. So the more snacks, the better. So we went on an excursion this weekend. Yes, we did. We went prairie dog hunting. And when I say hunt, I mean look for. I don't mean hurt, because you know how much I love animals.
Yeah, I was very confused.
There's a field, and I have video, but let's not play. Oh, okay, that's okay. You can play it. There's one of them. Listen, everyone listen. Wait, not the truck. Ready? Here he goes. So you don't see them because they blend in and camouflage so well, you have to listen for them. So we had our ears out, listening. They make that barking noise. They kiss. And guess what else? Babies, you guys. So many itty bitty 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 babies, but you can't get too close because I learned after the fact, they carry the plague.
Girl, them rodents.
Wait, that's not the reaction I expected. You wouldn't want to take Lawson and Layton, not close, but you wouldn't want to take them on a...
animals that could possibly give them the plague?
No, you don't get that close to them. You wouldn't want to go see little prairie dogs barking, kissing babies.
I think they're an infestation. I don't think they're like...
No, they're actually quite important to the environment.
I don't think so. I think they are. Destroy the environment.
No, I Googled it. They aerate the land. Okay.
Which means create holes in the ground.
Okay, it's time to move on. Okay, we got to talk about this next story because let me tell you, you all have an opinion on it. Let's discuss it. Did you all hear about Naomi Asaka? The tennis star has withdrawn from the French Open and announced she's stepping back from tennis. This comes just days after her announcement that she would not do press because of her mental health struggles. She also revealed a lot more about it, saying on Twitter that she's had bouts of depression, social anxiety, and a fear of public speaking. Naomi's decision has a lot of tennis stars speaking out, some defending her, while others are talking about how doing press is part of the job. So Billie Jean King said, while it's important that everyone has the right to speak their truth, I have always believed that as a professional athlete, we have a responsibility to make ourselves available to the media. And check out Serena Williams and Patrick McEnroe's take on it.
The only thing I feel is that I feel for Naomi. I feel like I wish I could give her a hug because I know what it's like.
She is a professional tennis player. She's an athlete, so you have to abide by certain rules, one of which is speaking to the press on a regular basis.
Okay, so Tori, should all players have to do press? What mental health considerations are necessary in your opinion?
Well, first off, she's not a thing. Like, I feel like I appreciate Patrick McEnroe's take, and I understand it was in her contract, but this was a deliberate protest against the idea that I'm a thing that needs to be paraded around when I'm an introvert. I don't like public speaking. She's not an actress in the entertainment industry. She's an athlete, and she's a human being with emotion. So I like her protest, and the best part about it is they tried to double down, and she just left. Now who's watching the French Open? Nobody. So at some point, they've got to revisit this idea that every athlete is something to dangle in front of us for us to clap at, in my opinion.
But she signed a contract, and she's got to abide by that contract. This is no different just because she has an anxiety disorder. This is football, basketball, all the sports, right? If you don't show up to your press conference, you get fined. That's just the way this is. So until she figures that out, until tennis figures that out, you're a professional athlete. We pay you a lot of money. A lot of people pay a lot of money to come see you. We might take a piece of your purse if you no longer want to do press. Maybe that's how they figure it out.
Well, and that's what they did.
Her consequence,
and she also acknowledged that that was going to be done. I think that we're having this conversation a little too early, and it kind of irks me that people aren't coming out in her defense like Billie Jean King and McEnroe and talking about the rules, because these are rules that they never had to truly abide by because they didn't live in the era of social media. I mean, those are really great examples about basketball and baseball and football players, but those are team sports. This is a single person, and she's a very young woman. And I also think we need to at least acknowledge when someone is crying out for help, we try to help them, not exploit the situation. And on top of it, she has Black heritage, Asian heritage, and this past year has been ridiculous and so mentally draining. So the idea that she might need to take a step back is 100% something that we should be encouraging and not putting up more roadblocks or criticizing her for it, especially not right now.
I wonder if you can meet in the middle, and I don't say that because I don't want to take a stance. I just say that as, listen, I've undergone some mental health battles here. I still had to go to my bosses and say, listen, I'm struggling right now. This is what I have to do. And apparently she did speak to some people. She wrote a letter and she had her manager reach out. So to Jeff's point, I do think when you sign a contract, there are obligations that you have to honor. However, it should be fluid in my mind. If you're falling short in some way and your mental health should be just as important as your physical health, that you reach out and you say, hey, Nike, this is where I'm at right now. I can't do it. And I would only hope that Nike would be super supportive. But you can't just go around them. Is that where you're coming from?
Yeah, but then you have to abide by the contract that she signed, right? I'm sure there'd be some kind of medium ground in there, but they could tell her, no, you owe us that money. Like,
well, she can't die over it. Hopefully, I would think they would listen to her.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen, to move on after this, gave a great quote one time. He goes, you don't get paid to do the movie. You get paid to do the press after the movie. That's the fun part. You got to promote that movie and promote your brand. And that's what I think Nike would have a problem with.
We're just in a different time, but I'm glad that we're in a different time where we can talk about it, where athletes are not seen as just purely entertainment. They're seen as human beings. But I do think that we're in a gray area, so I understand where Jeff's coming from and where you and Tori are coming from. All right, coming up rather on DBL, A Quiet Place Part 2. It opens to a huge box office haul, and people finally are they ready to go back to the movies in a post-pandemic world? Erica was. Plus, we're chatting live with comedian, oh, there he is, what? Oh, my goodness, where did that hand come from? There he is, America's Got Talent judge, Howie Mandel. Get ready to laugh. And the new reason to not sleep in while you'll want to rise and shine at least an hour earlier. Say it isn't so.
Closed captioning provided by...
This is a Smile Direct Club aligner. It's how Smile Direct Club safely and gently...
There are two main reactions to those videos. One is, aw, cute. The other one is, ew, don't they know we're in a pandemic? But as more people are getting vaccinated, some couples are currently in a spot where one partner is vaccinated and the other one isn't. And that can make sharing a kiss a little awkward. A verified viewer who wants to remain anonymous wrote to us asking, can a fully vaccinated person give COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing? So my anonymous kissing bandit, this one is for you. Let's verify. Our sources, the Mayo Clinic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Stuart Ray, professor at Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Yes, you can spread it, and yes, you can contract it, but the risk is a lot lower than it was before being vaccinated.
And Dr. David Sullivan, a professor of molecular biology and immunology at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health.
So theoretically, yes, but the chances are low.
A recent article from the Mayo Clinic confirms COVID-19 can be transmitted through kissing, stating coming into contact with a person's spit through kissing or other sexual activities could expose you to the virus. And both doctors and the CDC agree. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still contract COVID-19.
There is some residual risk of transmission, and as long as community rates are high, then I think we ought to exercise some caution.
So we can verify this as true. It is possible for a vaccinated person to spread COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing. But according to both doctors, it has more to do with your proximity to each other than the actual kissing. With your Verify, I'm Ariande Till. Want something verified? Email us or send us a text. For more Verify stories and to sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com.
Riser or a night owl that likes to sleep in? Well, it turns out a huge new study says that waking up just 1 hour earlier could reduce the risk of depression by 23%. According to experts, one possible reason is because more exposure to light during the day could help influence mood. So, do you think you could wake up an hour earlier? And what would you do with that extra time? What do you think, Tori? Oh, Tori's not happy.
I like to sleep in, but here's the thing, Sam. I wake up with an enormous amount of anxiety, and I have a lot of energy, and that energy goes nowhere. So I hear that, but I just don't have the discipline yet to get into it. But I should, because that's when I have the most anxiety, is right when I wake up, and I really should get it out with sweat.
You're an early riser.
I am. Yeah, I do it that way because that way I'll work out, and then I have like an accountability with someone to work out, so I get up early to get that done. Also, I wouldn't work out after work.
Yeah, they say that if you want to work out, you got to work out first thing in the morning. I'm trying my darndest to get Miles to sleep an extra hour. So no, this study does not apply to me right now. Miles is waking up at 5:05, 5:10 every morning. I'm trying to get him to sleep until like 6:05. So no, I'm not about this study. You, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm with it. Just for like your mental health. If you could get up an hour earlier and just do something productive to give yourself a task that you accomplish before you start your day, you're naturally going to feel better about yourself throughout your day.
A domino effect.
Yeah, if you sleep in. I heard this Captain McRaven, I listen to these positive quotes all the time. He said, just start your day by making your bed. You already accomplished one task for the day, and then it gives you positive, you snowball that throughout the rest of the day. If you wake up late, you're running, you forget to eat breakfast, you forget to do something, you run your job, how do you think you're going to feel when you get there?
Scattered.
Not great, right?
Yeah. Do you make your bed every day?
Yes.
Do you make your bed every day?
No.
No. Tori, do you make your bed every day? Do I have to ask?
Yes.
Wow, Jeff, I'm proud of you.
I only did it because that General McRaven says start your day.
I thought it was Captain McRaven.
He's way up there.
You said Captain
he got a
General.
promotion. He got a promotion.
I don't know the rankings, but he's way up there because I get it confused. I got McRaven right. Google it. It's a great speech.
Corporal, you know.
He might be. He's up there. I don't know what's
Coming up on DBL, the subtle way Kate Winslet is promoting body positivity in her new HBO miniseries, Mayor of Easttown. And coming up next, we're talking live. There he is. Oh, he's got a wig. What happened to the hand? We certainly could have used a hand on the last segment. He's here live. Yep, the hilarious Howie Mandel. Don't go away.
How's she doing?
Better now, but the hospital said she needs to rest.
Texas Democrats took a bold step to make sure the House would not be able to pass a voting restrictions bill. They walked out before the vote could happen. Let's connect the dots. Every state has a minimum number of lawmakers that have to be there to vote to pass a bill. It's called a quorum. Here in Tar Heel State, only a majority of lawmakers have to be there. But since everything's bigger in Texas, their state constitution says there have to be 2/3 of their voting members present, or it's a no-go. Walkouts are a pretty rare occurrence. In fact, nationwide, there have only been 8 major walkouts in the past 100 years. But political experts say that as politics becomes increasingly partisan, this could become a more common occurrence. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's special guest is a close friend of the show and a legend in both television and comedy. He's also back for his 11th season. Can you believe it? As a judge on America's Got Talent. We're talking about the new season, which kicks off, by the way, tonight on NBC. Please welcome Howie Mandel. There he is. So Howie, I don't know if
There I am. I wasn't the guy dancing. I'm the guy right here.
Yes, exactly. But I don't know if you heard some of our previous stories, but we want to know if because you were really open, and you've been open, of course, about your obsessive compulsive disorder. Does that mean that you have like your bed made every day, that everything is organized as well, or no?
Well, talking about the bed being made, I think number one, and I commend anybody from the tennis player to you guys to talk about mental health and removing the stigma, getting up early. My wife does that. My wife will get up an hour early and make the bed. And then it takes me another 2 hours to get out of the bed because she made it with me in it, and everything's tucked under. I've been trapped under a duvet for over 2 hours against my will. So talk about mental health. Wow.
My husband makes the bed with me in it.
No, he does
Yes,
not.
he does.
Are you kidding me?
Straightens out the bed.
Wow.
I wasn't kidding. My wife does with me in it.
That would just make me want to keep sleeping all day long because I like a cozy, perfect bed. But Howie, you were
Swaddled.
Swaddled
You've been
is
swaddled.
the right word. Oh yeah. Now that the pandemic is in hindsight, is there anything that could have made the pandemic easier for people with OCD?
No, and I don't know that it's in hindsight. I've been living this nightmare my entire life, and it just seems like you guys all joined into my nightmare. Right. So nothing has made it easier. I've moved my therapist into a whole new tax bracket this year. I've doubled my meds, and I think the panacea for everyone is tonight on NBC. And I'm not saying that to just promote. I am promoting, but I think the light at the end of the tunnel is America's Got Talent. We're back I've actually been there for 12 years. This is our sweet 16th season, and it is the brightest, most explosive season we've ever had, and for many reasons. Number one, our boss, Simon Cowell, is back and healed and better than ever. You know, he broke his back last year. Heidi's back. She's well. And Sophia and Terry Crews. And it just seems like, we were the only show or the first show to be in production during the pandemic last year. And now to be out there in front of a live audience is explosive. Everybody is so excited to be there. Everybody is trying harder than they've ever tried. It's just amazing. You know, there's one kid that you'll see tonight. He's like 16 years old. He was in quarantine with his grandmother. He took her bed sheets. Speaking of making the bed, he took her bed sheets and he took them outside to the tree, and he learned on YouTube how to be an aerialist.
What?
And he's spectacular. It's amazing. So people are showing up with things they've never done before. People are just happy. I think this last year has put all our lives into perspective, and just do it. You were talking about Nike. I live by their theory of just do it, and that's what people are doing. And you'll see nurses tonight. I mean, this is... I no spoilers, but all these nurses that were on the front line in New York when you were the epicenter there, who have held the hands of people who didn't have their families around and were passing away, saw such tragedy, healed people, are real heroes. For their own well-being, they used to join together after work and sing, and they started a choir. You'll see them tonight. I think they're actually having a viewing party at Citi Field in New York. It is the most exciting live audience show. I think it'll make you feel like you're back to normal. So call your friends.
Yeah.
Call your neighbors.
That
Join
last
us. I
story
forgot
gave
if
me
there was a
chills.
question.
No, the nurses story just gave me chills.
Howie, we'll be watching. I'm a big fan of the show. I'm a big fan of you for a long time. Was there any hesitation for you going back? You mentioned you were one of the first shows in LA to get back to work. Your motto is just do it. Were you like, maybe I don't want to do it this time?
Well, I'm scared to leave my room. That's why I'm in bed while my wife makes it. So I'm afraid to show up anywhere. But I got to tell you that, because of COVID safety, our production company was probably the most safest place. They made me feel safer than I even feel in my own home. I mean, they took all the precautions. We're all vaccinated. And we got to perform again in front of a live audience. But it was done in such a professional, scientific way that it just made us feel. And people come from all over the world to be on our show. So, people would fly in from Europe and then have to be quarantined for 2 weeks and tested every day. And then they hit the stage, and there is a possibility that they could get buzzed off in 60 seconds and they'd have to fly home and be quarantined for another 2 weeks. So it meant so much more for these people, in fact, just to be out of their room.
Yeah, Howie, you mentioned the aerialists being innovative with the bed sheets, and you mentioned the nurses coming together. A lot of people have been talking about this post-pandemic world as a renaissance. Do you think that we're getting like that type of theme this season on America's Got Talent?
Yeah, I think that there is a palpable, and I've watched it also besides being there. I've seen moments from it, and there's a palpable feeling of that excitement to be released back into normality again, or even pivot and change directions. I've been an accountant for the last 40 years of my life, and now being through this pandemic and not knowing how I was going to end up, or even if I was going to make it out the other side. I've always dreamed of doing this. Now more than ever, I'm just gonna kick down that door and do it. So there's a palpable electricity for the people on stage, for us as judges, for Terry and the entire audience. I think that is going to be, it's going to cross over through the screen to the people at home.
Wow, it seems like the stakes are high.
I'm excited. I wanted to say it'll be viral, but I don't want to use the word viral anymore.
Good call. If anything, we learned that in the past year. Thank you again,
Well, that's
Howie.
why you shouldn't be looking for prairie dogs. That's not a pastime.
Hey,
that's
Howie.
silly.
Howie,
be honest, did you still want to do the show after you saw that segment?
I'm glad I'm here on whatever this is. I'm not with you. Don't go looking for prairie dogs.
I stay like 12 feet away.
Don't go looking for prairie dogs.
I can't.
That's stupid. It's not a pastime. You got a piece of video for the show.
It is a pastime.
You were 12 feet or 20 feet from the plague. Have you not learned anything in the last year?
We don't know if it had the plague. We do not know that. That is an assumption, a gross assumption at that, Howie. I said
You're not even supposed to be outside looking for other humans without a mask.
Howie
Why are
Mandel?
you looking for the plague?
Howie, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget you can join Howie.
Listen to my podcast. Howie Mandel does stuff.
You can, don't forget to join America's Got Talent tonight on NBC.
Check out Howie's podcast.
Poor Sam.
We'll be right back. Bye, Howie.
Promotional consideration.
Salty and tastes best fresh out of the fryer? Give yourself 10 points if you guessed French fries, hash browns, or tater tots. So why are we talking about deep fried potatoes? Well, a study from 2017 is making the rounds on the internet again. This time, it claims eating French fries can lead to an early death. Well, this year's claim is slightly different than previous years. This claim is focused on how many times French fries are consumed in a week. So let's verify. Will you die earlier if you eat French fries or hash browns 2 to 3 times a week? Our sources: Dr. Kantha Shelke, food scientist, founder of Corvus Blue LLC, and visiting professor of food safety regulations at Johns Hopkins University. Angela Lehman, registered dietitian, nutritionist, chief executive officer, and co-owner of Lehman Nutrition in Plano, Texas, and the national spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Kantha Shelke and Angela Lehman say there are several factors missing from the study.
Many of these people were they had other pre-existing conditions, arthritis, diabetes, etc. It did not look into their lifestyle, which is very important.
Maybe they're not exercising enough. They're eating, high-fat meats with that as well. They're drinking, a lot of sugar in their beverages. So what we need to see is the whole clinical picture of why these people are dying early. And so we can't really just say it's the French fries that's killing them.
1, 2, 3. Still alive. The claim that eating French fries and other fried potatoes 2 to 3 times a week will cause an early death is misleading.
Consuming French fries is not going to hurt you or kill you unless you did that in such a way that you excluded other good things with you. But if you like French fries in moderation, absolutely okay.
If you're worried about your fried potato intake, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest healthier alternatives like baking, roasting, steaming, grilling, or broiling. Want something verified? Email your questions to questions@verifythis.com or send a text to 202-410-8808. To check out more stories like this and sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com. Until then, I'm Ariane Till.
Thank you.
talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Tori joins us from home. All right, so, are you working out? Getting ready to go there?
I don't know. That was bad. Keep going.
Tori, it wasn't bad. I'm glad that you're committed. Okay, so it was a big return to the movies this Memorial Day weekend. Disney's Cruella pulled in over $26 million in just 4 days. The movie was also released on Disney Plus at the same time, but the big weekend box office winner was John Krasinski's A Quiet Place 2. That made $57 million over the same 4 days. The movie was only available in theaters, and Amy Schumer gave the film some high praise on Instagram, but she took a jab at John and his wife and co-star Emily Blunt, joking that they have a pretend marriage for publicity. John responded by thanking Amy for blowing up his whole marriage spot. Okay, so Erica also went to the movies. So do you think this is the return of cinema or no?
Yeah.
Because I watched it at home in my couch, Cruella, via Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think so, as a person who returned to cinema after 10 to 12 years. But there was a big push in the theater, too, about how the movies are made for bigger screens. So just encouraging people to come back. But I also tell people, you can't just buy a ticket next to the person next to you at a lot of theaters. So that also gives it more of that, gotta get that ticket feel.
Exclusivity.
There's exclusivity. Yeah, there's nothing like going to the theaters, though. I don't think it's the end of theaters. I thought it was during the pandemic, but apparently a lot of people I talk to, even in here, are like, I went to the movies this weekend because people just want to get back. I'm more on your speed because I have a 2- and 4-year-old. Disney Plus is the jam.
Oh, Disney Plus is the jam.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing Cruella because I love Emma Stone.
Wait till you see Cruella. Tori, Cruella rocked my world. This is going to sound like I made it up because how much time do you have in 2 days? I watched it twice. Both evenings, Friday evening and Saturday evening, Cruella. It is that fantastic. Have you been back to the theater?
No, and I'm a little nervous because of the air. Somehow I got to get over it and do the Erica thing and jump back in. I want to go see an IMAX about prairie dogs barking. Now that's going to be fun.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, Tori, I like it.
Held on to that.
What's hilarious, though, is all 4 of you, if you were walking and then all of a sudden you heard beep, 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 and you looked and you saw a ton of prairie dogs with babies, every single one of you would run up and look and be like, oh my gosh, that is so cute.
I'm going to call that a absolute not true.
Yes, you did. It is like Lawson, Layton, quick.
Not anymore. They have the plague.
No, they don't. I said they could possibly carry a plague. Possibly.
I'm glad that you brought this up because I have wondered. When I first moved here 12 years ago, you would see them everywhere. Now you don't see them as much, and I think it's because of development and all of these things, and people have been hunting them, for real hunting them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they're still
They're not an
there.
infestation.
Why would
they
you
are
hunt
not.
them if they're not an infestation?
People don't hunt them. I've never heard that mean a thing. Okay.
Michael Dean. Do you want to tell that story in commercial break? Yes.
No, I don't want to hear it. That sounds sad. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so Kate Winslet wants people to see her as she is. In an interview with the New York Times, Kate revealed that she fought to keep an unflattering sex scene in her HBO series, The Mayor of Easttown, which is fantastic. Jeff got me into it from being cut. In the scene, Kate, who is 45, said the director wanted to edit out a, quote, bit of a bulgy belly from the scene, but she told him not to, saying she wanted to stay true to her flawed character by matching her body and age in every way. She also sent the promo poster back twice because she said it was too retouched and that she knows how many lines she has on the side of her face. Wow. And if you see the show, to the viewers out there, you'll understand why it must have been so important for her and her character, because she looks like an everyday person, not like a star.
Yeah, I mean, listen, first of all, Kate Winslet had nothing to say about this. Why would they go ahead and change it without her knowing, right? If she had a problem with it, maybe you change it. There's a lot of stars that change their movie posters. But this is real, right? This is what people look like. And that's not Kate Winslet. That's Mare. Okay, so people are too intertwined with actors and real, in who they are in real life. She's playing a character, and her character is flawed like that. And even if she is in real life, that's her choice too. It's crazy how detailed everyone is and excruciating.
Excruciating.
I'm getting
No,
worked up.
I think you're asking the right question. Why was it done in the first place? And I think sometimes that is fundamentally the question we should be asking. Because if it wasn't done in order to enhance or drive the story, was it done because somewhere in post someone thought that it just wasn't palatable to show?
Ooh, Tori, that's a great question that Erica just brought up.
First of all, I agree completely with Erica. Second of all, it's the details that make the show. If anyone's seen it, it's a really slow burn. But the details of her drinking a Rolling Rock in the Pennsylvania, I'm going home, and eating the tinfoil sandwich in the car, right? That makes her the whole, you can smell Philly in that scene. So for her to not have a flab, that detail is important for so many reasons. So I totally love that she stuck with it.
Okay,
It's a great
first
show.
of all, it's a great show. Tori just totally made you turn it off. We were talking to me and Tori this morning, and you just took the cliff notes of everything we talked about and just spewed them back out. Taking a bite of tinfoil in the car, that's not what the show's about at all.
Yeah, but it's the realistic approach of, I don't have time, I'm a mom, I'm a detective, I gotta stuff my face. Kate Winslet wouldn't have done that, but this detective would have gone home and done that.
Yes?
Yeah, I actually agree with her. That's a character choice. That's a character choice. She doesn't have time to sit down at her
It's a
nearby
murder mystery
cafe,
show.
but she's shoving food in her face, eating tinfoil on accident because she's got bigger fish to fry.
So do I. Move on.
All right. The Rock is bulking up for his new film, but is he going too far? On Monday, The Rock posted this. Oh my goodness. He posted this pic on Instagram showing how buff he's getting for his upcoming superhero movie, Black Adam. He captioned his post saying he's been working extremely hard, training unlike any other role in his entire career. He also added that he is under the watchful eye of a strength and conditioning coach. Jeff, that's insane. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
but
lifting weights and stuff. That's insane.
Not like that. Erica knows more of that world than I do. But the dedication of The Rock, that's not surprising. He didn't look far from that. Wow. You know, every day, if you follow him on Instagram, he's very motivating. Works out every day, gets up at 4 in the morning, kind of going back to what we talked to, and then takes a nap at like 8 and then goes and does a movie for 12 hours.
Yeah, he is committed.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to commit, it is The Rock. But I'm glad that he did say he's under very strict conditioning and strength coaching and all of that, because you're going to need someone who really knows what they're doing. Most people aren't transforming their bodies like that on their own.
Can we see that photo one more time before we move on? Because that's crazy town.
For
to
just
me.
journalistic reasons, right?
Oh my, no, because I'm not attracted to really muscular. Remember?
Well, your reaction said
remember I like a dad
otherwise.
bod? Remember? I like a dad bod.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember.
He doesn't
that fake
believe me.
answer.
But it's not a fake answer. That's true. I just can't believe how he looks like a monster. My gosh. It's crazy. Okay, we're going to move on to this other story that you guys have a lot of opinions on. Things are getting messy in the divorce between Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler. TMZ is reporting that Jay wants 50% of Kristen's Uncommon James lifestyle and clothing brand. Kristen allegedly claims that she doesn't owe Jay any part of the company because he didn't put any money into it. The company was featured on the reality show Very Cavallari. In one episode, Jay was seen interacting with employees, and in another, Kristen said Jay did not own half the company, even though he claims he did. The couple did sign a prenup before their wedding in 2013. Yikes. Tori, you've told me so many stories that you have, been privy to because of your dad being an attorney, of how this happens or seems to happen with so many couples. Even if you have an ironclad contract that says this person is not part of my business, somehow it's up in the air. How is that fair?
It becomes like a weird trauma and sort of a therapy session for the lawyers. So it becomes an ego thing, it becomes an I own this thing, and at one point millions of dollars could be up and you're fighting over Beanie Babies. There's a very famous case and a picture of 2 divorce attorneys separating their Beanie Baby collection, and it's almost absurd. So at this point you got to trust that your lawyers know what they're doing and to stay out of the press and to kind of shut up. That's my
Beanie
advice
Babies are worth
to both of
millions.
them.
I'd fight over those Beanie Babies
not anymore. Are they still retaining value?
Well, they were.
Oh, okay.
What do you make of this? You love Kristen Cavallari, or your wife does.
My wife, yeah. And so this morning we were fighting about this before I left. She was on the phone with her friend, and Jordan was like, and she's like, Jay should get half. And I was surprised. I'm like, I don't think so. Even if he gave a down payment, say, this is exactly the fight we're having with me and my wife. I'm like, if he gave her $100,000, right? and then you make 20 million off that 100 grand, what do you recoup off of that? You don't get half, right? You got to pay back the loan, maybe with some interest, but you don't get half. My theory was she's with somebody that he doesn't like, and he's being spiteful now because he's sitting on $100 million at least just being a quarterback in the NFL, so he doesn't need this money. So I'm thinking there's spite involved.
Well, of course there's spite involved. Anytime you're going to really go at each other, then it's like, oh, y'all really loved each other. You know, like they just can't let go. I do think it is important that people have, whether you're living with someone, like a cohabitation agreement or cohabitation agreement, or if you're married, like there should be some sort of understanding. Like for my company, my husband owns a percentage of my company. I own the same percentage of his company. So it's just that understanding to be like, all right, listen, this is what we're going to do to try not to have these conversations in the future. Pray that never happens.
We pray, girl. We knock on wood. But let me tell you, businesses are, I'm really knocking on wood here. Businesses are another baby, right? That's your blood, your sweat, and your tears. And I know my husband and I have a business together, but my husband has poured way more blood, way more sweat, and way more tears into our candle company than me. So I can't imagine ever being that spiteful, knowing how much sacrifice that is.
What if you slept with your best friend and they were going to get married?
I'm getting your company. I see the blood, sweat, and tears, but I hear you. Okay, so sad news in the world of television. Actor Gavin Mcleod has died at the age of 90. He had been ill for some time, but his cause of death hasn't been released. Gavin was known for his role as the steadfast captain Steubing on the Love Boat. He played the role for 10 years and also returned for 2 Love Boat specials, if you remember, back in the 90s. But he got his big break playing news writer Marie Slaughter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He earned 2 Golden Globe nominations for the role, and Ed Asner, who played Mr. Grant, of course, on the show, paid tribute to his former co-star. He tweeted, quote, "My heart is broken. Gavin was my brother, my partner in crime, and my comic conspirator. Tell the gang I will see them in a bit. Betty, as in Betty White, it's just you and me now." Wow. I mean, that's family. We know we've been together 4 years here on this show. We are family, right? And that's never going to go away. Even if we go on to different things, hopefully not. We're knock on wood.
We just need like a wood block right next to you.
Just a wood block right here. Yeah. But right, like that, you're losing a family member.
I remember watching him when I was a little kid on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Yeah, and I mean, if you look at his IMDb, the list of credits this guy had, what an amazing career. And then Ed Asner's tweet I almost cried. It's just me and you, Betty.
I know.
Tell the crew I'll see you soon.
I know.
I mean, such iconic television. When you do something like that, hopefully we get there, knock on wood.
I'm gonna not.
But I mean, you're part of history. You made history. Mary Tyler Moore's part of history now. You know, and like, there's no better.
It
like, what a great career. Yeah, it did. That
tweet
really choked me up because that's coming to an end now.
Oh my goodness, I know. All right, well, coming up on DBL, how long do you think you could last in the wilderness? Oh boy, we actually did a whole half-hour episode of all of us camping.
Not all of us.
Yeah, the average time most people say they can survive before things go south. And our DBL staff is working hard at home. Hopefully, we'll see you all again in the studio soon. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning.
One is all cute. The other one is ew. Don't they know we're in a pandemic? But as more people are getting vaccinated, some couples are currently in a spot where one partner is vaccinated and the other one isn't. And that can make sharing a kiss a little awkward. A verified viewer who wants to remain anonymous wrote to us asking, can a fully vaccinated person give COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing? So my anonymous kissing bandit, this one is for you. Let's verify. Our sources, the Mayo Clinic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Stuart Ray, professor at Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Yes, you can spread it, and yes, you can contract it, but the risk is a lot lower than it was before being vaccinated.
And Dr. David Sullivan, a professor of molecular biology and immunology at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health.
So theoretically, yes, but the chances are low.
A recent article from the Mayo Clinic confirms COVID-19 can be transmitted through kissing, stating coming into contact with a person's spit through kissing or other sexual activities could expose you to the virus. And both doctors and the CDC agree. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still contract COVID-19.
There is some residual risk of transmission, and as long as community rates are high, then I think we ought to exercise some caution.
So we can verify this as true. It is possible for a vaccinated person to spread COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing. But according to both doctors, it has more to do with your proximity to each other than the actual kissing. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till. Want something verified? Email us or send us a text. For more Verify stories and to sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com.
Welcome back to DBL. Remember the movie Castaway? If you need a refresher, Tom Hanks' character survives 4 years in the wilderness after getting stranded on an island. But that's Hollywood. What about in real life? Could people like you and me really make it that long? According to a new survey, most adults think they have what it takes to survive 2 weeks in the wild. Well, here's the kicker. Not even 15% of the people who answered knew how to make a fire. So let's go around the horn. How long do you think you would last?
In the wild, I think I could go 10 to 14 days. Like, someone's got to find me.
Even though we beat you at building a fire, Tori and I, and doing a tent and pitching a tent. I think we have footage of that, don't we?
First of all, Al ruined my fire. He threw live grass on my fire.
And why doesn't live grass light?
You tell me, expert.
There's moisture in it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, here we go. Tori and I won the fire challenge.
No.
And we also won. That's the wrong challenge.
Yeah, we won. That's the end. That's the finale.
No, you won the digging up a flag challenge.
No, that's the finale.
Yeah.
We won the show. If you go back and watch.
You won digging up a flag.
We won the show.
Who won pitching a tent?
There's winners and there's losers, and we won.
Who won pitching a tent and building a fire? The wilderness challenges.
Me and Al.
No, you didn't. Tori and I did. And Erica did not want to be a part of it.
Oh, no, Erica was not there, as has been represented by clips over clips over clips, because the answer to how long am I surviving in the wilderness would be absolutely 0 seconds and 0 minutes, which is the reason why I was the only one not to go to the woods, because I wouldn't have come back and this show would have been called The Cobb Family Show.
No, I don't believe Erica one bit. This girl is a survivalist. This girl, you look at the back of her SUV, it is filled with cans. It is filled with water. It is filled with flares. God forbid. Blankets.
That's in case we get stuck in traffic. Not wilderness.
Tori hated it. Tori was definitely an anchor for me. She dragged me down.
I thought you were going to say she held you down.
It's kind of a metaphor for the show.
Tori, you hated it. Be honest. You hated it.
I hated it. I'll just tell you this. I had a full sinus infection and I called someone on production to get me. I think it was Patty, and she's in the studio right now.
Patty.
And I said, please come get me. And she was asleep in the warm little van or whatever she had. So I was left there. I hated every second of it. Every second.
Let me tell you, it was cold that
Every
night.
second.
How cold did it get?
It was pretty cold.
I think it was like 21 degrees.
You know what helps? When you zipper your tent.
I know, we didn't zip our tent.
How long could you and Tori make it out there? Like logistic, how long, or realistic? How long could you make it out?
I would make it the 2 weeks.
You could stay out there 2 weeks?
Hands down.
What?
Would
You
I
get taken out by a
enjoy
prairie
it?
dog.
What?
You have the plague after 2 weeks.
Would I enjoy it? No. But do I have a mommy bear instinct? Yes.
No, you get eaten by a mommy bear.
No. We'll be right back.
We all know that movement is like medicine, but getting the movement you need to feel better can be
Texas Democrats took a bold step to make sure the House would not be able to pass a voting restrictions bill. They walked out before the vote could happen. Let's connect the dots. Every state has a minimum number of lawmakers that have to be there to vote to pass a bill. It's called a quorum. Here in Tar Heel State, only a majority of lawmakers have to be there. But since everything's bigger in Texas, their state constitution says there have to be 2/3 of their voting members present, or it's a no-go. Walkouts are a pretty rare occurrence. In fact, nationwide, there have only been 8 major walkouts in the past 100 years. But political experts say that as politics becomes increasingly partisan, this could become a more common occurrence. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by Lifelock. As air travel ramps up with more people being vaccinated, the Better Business Bureau is warning consumers of a rise in airfare scams. So scammers are reportedly targeting people by selling airline tickets through fake booking sites or customer service numbers. So to avoid falling victim to these con artists, make sure to research the company before making a purchase. Also, double check the URL to make sure you are using a secure site. And lastly, use your credit card just in case you need to dispute the charges. When it comes to your financial assets, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. So call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Wow, and there's so many of those like airfare sites, you would never know.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Because I'm always looking for a deal.
Me too.
Right.
I'd get caught by, yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like a lot of people are looking for great deals because they don't have the money to pay like the premiums that you go somewhere else. So the idea that you're being preyed upon, even when you're trying to like, it's just, people suck.
I know.
I mean, come on. Just
always a new
get a job.
That's a good bumper sticker.
There's probably one out there. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Food. What's starchy, salty, and tastes best fresh out of the fryer? Give yourself 10 points if you guessed French fries, hash browns, or tater tots. So why are we talking about deep fried potatoes? Well, a study from 2017 is making the rounds on the internet again. This time, it claims eating French fries can lead to an early death. Well, this year's claim is slightly different than previous years. This claim is focused on how many times French fries are consumed in a week. So let's verify. Will you die earlier if you eat French fries or hash browns 2 to 3 times a week? Our sources: Dr. Kantha Shalke, food scientist, founder of Corvus Blue LLC, and visiting professor of food safety regulations at Johns Hopkins University. Angela Lehman, registered dietitian, nutritionist, chief executive officer, and co-owner of Lehman Nutrition in Plano, Texas, and the national spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Kantha Shalke and Angela Lehman say there are several factors missing from the study.
Many of these people were they had other pre-existing conditions, arthritis, diabetes, etc. It did not look into their lifestyle, which is very important.
Maybe they're not exercising enough. They're eating, high-fat meats with that as well. They're drinking, a lot of sugar in their beverages. So what we need to see is the whole clinical picture of why these people are dying early. And so we can't really just say it's the French fries that's killing them.
1, 2, 3. Still alive. The claim that eating French fries and other fried potatoes 2 to 3 times a week will cause an early death is misleading.
Consuming French fries is not going to hurt you or kill you unless you did that in such a way that you excluded other good things with you. But if you like French fries in moderation, absolutely okay.
If you're worried about your fried potato intake, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest healthier alternatives like baking, roasting, steaming, grilling, or broiling. Want something verified? Email your questions to questions@verifythis.com or send a text to 202-410-8808. To check out more stories like this and sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com. Until then, I'm Ariane Till.
On DBL, will Derek Chauvin's conviction stand? Legal expert Dan Abrams weighs in. How likely is it that Derek Chauvin will get a new trial? That's tomorrow, right here on DBL.
Wow. And we want to give another thank you to Howie Mandel for being on the show, and a reminder to check out his hilarious podcast, Howie Mandel Does Stuff, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Tori, you got some comments?
Yeah, so it's all about prairie dogs. No, I'm kidding. So Veronica wrote in and said, Tori hated that camping trip. She looked miserable, which is great for the self-esteem. Thanks, Veronica. And Rebecca says, when will DBL do another camping trip?
Oh, I don't know.
You know that was good for bonding.
It was great.
Yeah.
Not on Mother's Day weekend, but it was great.
Y'all have the most revisionist history. I remember the glares and the questions that were asked when you returned to the studio, especially Tori. Tori straight up came up to me and she's like, how did you get to not go? And I said, well, they asked, and I said no. And she goes, that was an option?
Please, listen, Tori had the plague from a prairie dog. Remember, and she still wanted to go. She's like, I can't miss
out. She got me sick.
So
I got sick that night. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
On Daily Blast Live.
Tennis champ Naomi Asaka pulls out of the French Open for her mental health after refusing to talk to the media, the praise and the backlash. The simple change in your daily routine that could lower your depression risk by more than 20%. Kate Winslet's body image battle, why she fought to keep this love scene unedited in her new miniseries. And we're chatting live with comedian and TV host Howie Mandel.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Patty. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, June 1st. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Miss Tori joins us from home. All right, so how was everyone's Memorial Day weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
I did have a great weekend. So I was discussing just last week how I haven't been to the movies in like 100 years. And our kiddos wanted to go to the movies, so we went to see Raya and the Last Dragon, which was
it
so
good?
amazing.
Okay.
It was really good. I guess it's coming out on Disney Plus later in the month. But it was awesome. We were the only ones in the theater. Like, we had the theater to ourselves, like just the four of us, which was great because the 7-year-old had a lot of questions. A lot of questions, and the questions continued throughout the entire movie. But it was awesome. The seats reclined.
Oh, so you haven't been there in a minute, girl.
Yeah, I was like,
so tell me. So you never had reclining seats?
I've never had a reclining seat.
The food being delivered?
The food was delivered. I mean, I was so excited because they were like, oh, do you want to see Cruella? We didn't even know. And they're like, no, we want to see Raya. And I'm like, is that a movie? So I'm Googling, and then I found the theater and I'm like, okay, well, I better get the seats right away because of course it's only in an hour. And then I'm doing the seats and it's like, would you like to add concessions? And I was like, well, of course. And then it said, would you like it delivered? I'm like, oh, yes, absolutely. And I had like all the backup layers because throughout the movie, they decide they don't want just popcorn. Now they want Sour Patch Kids. And who got the Sour Patch Kids before they even asked? It was all in the bag. Everything was in the bag.
And Jeff and I know the best way to silence kids is snacks. So the more snacks, the better. So we went on an excursion this weekend. Yes, we did. We went prairie dog hunting. And when I say hunt, I mean look for. I don't mean hurt, because you know how much I love animals.
Yeah, I was very confused.
There's a field, and I have video, but let's not play. Oh, okay, that's okay. You can play it. There's one of them. Listen, everyone listen. Wait, not the truck. Ready? Here he goes. So you don't see them because they blend in and camouflage so well, you have to listen for them. So we had our ears out, listening. They make that barking noise. They kiss. And guess what else? Babies, you guys. So many itty bitty babies, but you can't get too close because I learned after the fact, they carry the plague.
Girl, them rodents.
Wait, that's not the reaction I expected. You wouldn't want to take Lawson and Layton, not close, but you wouldn't want to take them on a...
animals that could possibly give them the plague?
No, you don't get that close to them. You wouldn't want to go see little prairie dogs barking, kissing babies.
I think they're an infestation. I don't think they're
No, they're actually quite important to the environment.
I don't think so. I think they destroy the environment.
No, I Googled it. They aerate the land. Okay.
Which means create holes in the ground.
Okay, it's time to move on. Okay, we got to talk about this next story because let me tell you, you all have an opinion on it. Let's discuss it. Did you all hear about Naomi Asaka? The tennis star has withdrawn from the French Open and announced she's stepping back from tennis. This comes just days after her announcement that she would not do press because of her mental health struggles. She also revealed a lot more about it, saying on Twitter that she's had bouts of depression, social anxiety, and a fear of public speaking. Naomi's decision has a lot of tennis stars speaking out, some defending her, while others are talking about how doing press is part of the job. So Billie Jean King said, while it's important that everyone has the right to speak their truth, I have always believed that as a professional athlete, we have a responsibility to make ourselves available to the media. And check out Serena Williams and Patrick McEnroe's take on it.
The only thing I feel is that I feel for Naomi. I feel like I wish I could give her a hug because I know what it's like.
She is a professional tennis player. She's an athlete, so you have to abide by certain rules, one of which is speaking to the press on a regular basis.
Okay, so Tori, should all players have to do press? What mental health considerations are necessary in your opinion?
Well, first off, she's not a thing. Like, I feel like I appreciate Patrick McEnroe's take, and I understand it was in her contract, but this was a deliberate protest against the idea that I'm a thing that needs to be paraded around when I'm an introvert. I don't like public speaking. She's not an actress in the entertainment industry. She's an athlete, and she's a human being with emotion. So I like her protest, and the best part about it is they tried to double down, and she just left. Now who's watching the French Open? Nobody. So at some point, they've got to revisit this idea that every athlete is something to dangle in front of us for us to clap at, in my opinion.
But she signed a contract, and she's got to abide by that contract. This is no different just because she has an anxiety disorder. This is football, basketball, all the sports, right? If you don't show up to your press conference, you get fined. That's just the way this is. So until she figures that out, until tennis figures that out, you're a professional athlete. We pay you a lot of money. A lot of people pay a lot of money to come see you. We might take a piece of your purse if you no longer want to do press. Maybe that's how they figure it out.
Well, and that's what they did.
Her consequence,
and she also acknowledged that that was going to be done. I think that we're having this conversation a little too early, and it kind of irks me that people aren't coming out in her defense like Billie Jean King and McEnroe and talking about the rules, because these are rules that they never had to truly abide by because they didn't live in the era of social media. I mean, those are really great examples about basketball and baseball and football players, but those are team sports. This is a single person, and she's a very young woman. And I also think we need to at least acknowledge when someone is crying out for help, we try to help them, not exploit the situation. And on top of it, she has Black heritage, Asian heritage, and this past year has been ridiculous and so mentally draining. So the idea that she might need to take a step back is 100% something that we should be encouraging and not putting up more roadblocks or criticizing her for it, especially not right now.
I wonder if you can meet in the middle, and I don't say that because I don't want to take a stance. I just say that I had to go to my bosses and say, listen, I'm struggling right now. This is what I have to do. And apparently she did speak to some people. She wrote a letter and she had her manager reach out. So to Jeff's point, I do think when you sign a contract, there are obligations that you have to honor. However, it should be fluid in my mind. If you're falling short in some way and your mental health should be just as important as your physical health, that you reach out and you say, hey, Nike, this is where I'm at right now. I can't do it. And I would only hope that Nike would be super supportive. But you can't just go around them. Is that where you're coming from?
Yeah, but then you have to abide by the contract that she signed, right? I'm sure there'd be some kind of medium ground in there, but they could tell her, no, you owe us that money. Like,
well, she can't die over it. Hopefully, I would think they would listen to her.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen, to move on after this, gave a great quote one time. He goes, you don't get paid to do the movie. You get paid to do the press after the movie. That's the fun part. You got to promote that movie and promote your brand. And that's what I think Nike would have a problem with.
We're just in a different time, but I'm glad that we're in a different time where we can talk about it, where athletes are not seen as just purely entertainment. They're seen as human beings. But I do think that we're in a gray area, so I understand where Jeff's coming from and where you and Tori are coming from. All right, coming up rather on DBL, A Quiet Place Part 2. It opens to a huge box office haul, and people finally are they ready to go back to the movies in a post-pandemic world? Erica was. Plus, we're chatting live with comedian, oh, there he is, what? Oh, my goodness, where did that hand come from? There he is, America's Got Talent judge, Howie Mandel. Get ready to laugh. And the new reason to not sleep in while you'll want to rise and shine at least an hour earlier. Say it isn't so.
Closed captioning.
There are two main reactions to those videos. One is, aw, cute. The other one is, ew, don't they know we're in a pandemic? But as more people are getting vaccinated, some couples are currently in a spot where one partner is vaccinated and the other one isn't. And that can make sharing a kiss a little awkward. A verified viewer who wants to remain anonymous wrote to us asking, can a fully vaccinated person give COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing? So my anonymous kissing bandit, this one is for you. Let's verify. Our sources, the Mayo Clinic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Stuart Ray, professor at Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Yes, you can spread it, and yes, you can contract it, but the risk is a lot lower than it was before being vaccinated.
And Dr. David Sullivan, a professor of molecular biology and immunology at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health.
So theoretically, yes, but the chances are low.
A recent article from the Mayo Clinic confirms COVID-19 can be transmitted through kissing, stating coming into contact with a person's spit through kissing or other sexual activities could expose you to the virus. And both doctors and the CDC agree. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still contract COVID-19.
There is some residual risk of transmission, and as long as community rates are high, then I think we ought to exercise some caution.
So we can verify this as true. It is possible for a vaccinated person to spread COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing. But according to both doctors, it has more to do with your proximity to each other than the actual kissing. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till. Want something verified? Email us or send us a text. For more Verify stories and to sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com.
Or a night owl that likes to sleep in? Well, it turns out a huge new study says that waking up just 1 hour earlier could reduce the risk of depression by 23%. According to experts, one possible reason is because more exposure to light during the day could help influence mood. So, do you think you could wake up an hour earlier? And what would you do with that extra time? What do you think, Tori? Oh, Tori's not happy.
I like to sleep in, but here's the thing, Sam. I wake up with an enormous amount of anxiety, and I have a lot of energy, and that energy goes nowhere. So I hear that, but I just don't have the discipline yet to get into it. But I should, because that's when I have the most anxiety, is right when I wake up, and I really should get it out with sweat.
You're an early riser.
I am. Yeah, I do it that way because that way I'll work out, and then I have like an accountability with someone to work out, so I get up early to get that done. Also, I wouldn't work out after work.
Yeah, they say that if you want to work out, you got to work out first thing in the morning. I'm trying my darndest to get Miles to sleep an extra hour. So no, this study does not apply to me right now. Miles is waking up at 5:05, 5:10 every morning. I'm trying to get him to sleep until like 6:05. So no, I'm not about this study. You, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm with it. Just for like your mental health. If you could get up an hour earlier and just do something productive to give yourself a task that you accomplish before you start your day, you're naturally going to feel better about yourself throughout your day.
A domino effect.
Yeah, if you sleep in. I heard this Captain McRaven, I listen to these positive quotes all the time. He said, just start your day by making your bed. You already accomplished one task for the day, and then it gives you positive, you snowball that throughout the rest of the day. If you wake up late, you're running, you forget to eat breakfast, you forget to do something, you run your job, how do you think you're going to feel when you get there?
Scattered.
Not great, right?
Yeah. Do you make your bed every day?
Yes.
Do you make your bed every day?
No.
No. Tori, do you make your bed every day? Do I have to ask?
Yes.
Wow, Jeff, I'm proud of you.
I only did it because that General McRaven says start your day.
I thought it was Captain McRaven.
He's way up there.
You said Captain
he got a
General.
promotion. He got a promotion.
I don't know the rankings, but he's way up there because I get it confused. I got McRaven right. Google it. It's a great speech.
Corporal, you know.
He might be. He's up there. I don't know what.
Coming up on DBL, the subtle way Kate Winslet is promoting body positivity in her new HBO miniseries, Mayor of Easttown. And coming up next, we're talking live. There he is. Oh, he's got a wig. What happened to the hand? We certainly could have used a hand on the last segment. He's here live. Yep, the hilarious Howie Mandel. Don't go away.
Texas Democrats took a bold step to make sure the House would not be able to pass a voting restrictions bill. They walked out before the vote could happen. Let's connect the dots. Every state has a minimum number of lawmakers that have to be there to vote to pass the bill. It's called a quorum. Here in Tar Heel State, only a majority of lawmakers have to be there. But since everything's bigger in Texas, their state constitution says there have to be 2/3 of their voting members present, or it's a no-go. Walkouts are a pretty rare occurrence. In fact, nationwide, there have only been 8 major walkouts in the past 100 years. But political experts say that as politics becomes increasingly partisan, this could become a more common occurrence. And that is Connecting the Dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's special guest is a close friend of the show and a legend in both television and comedy. He's also back for his 11th season. Can you believe it? As a judge on America's Got Talent. We're talking about the new season, which kicks off, by the way, tonight on NBC. Please welcome Howie Mandel. There he is. So Howie, I don't know if
There I am. I wasn't the guy dancing. I'm the guy right here.
Yes, exactly. But I don't know if you heard some of our previous stories, but we want to know if because you were really open, and you've been open, of course, about your obsessive compulsive disorder. Does that mean that you have like your bed made every day, that everything is organized as well, or no?
Well, talking about the bed being made, I think number one, and I commend anybody from the tennis player to you guys to talk about mental health and removing the stigma, getting up early. My wife does that. My wife will get up an hour early and make the bed. And then it takes me another 2 hours to get out of the bed because she made it with me in it, and everything's tucked under. I've been trapped under a duvet for over 2 hours against my will. So talk about mental health. Wow.
My husband makes the bed with me in it.
No, he does
Yes,
not.
he does.
Are you kidding me?
He straightens out the bed.
Wow.
I wasn't kidding. My wife does with me in it.
That would just make me want to keep sleeping all day long because I like a cozy, perfect bed. But Howie, you were
swaddled.
Swaddled
You've been
is
swaddled.
the right word. Oh yeah. Now that the pandemic is in hindsight, is there anything that could have made the pandemic easier for people with OCD?
No, and I don't know that it's in hindsight. I've been living this nightmare my entire life, and it just seems like you guys all joined into my nightmare. Right. So nothing has made it easier. I've moved my therapist into a whole new tax bracket this year. I've doubled my meds, and I think the panacea for everyone is tonight on NBC. And I'm not saying that to just promote. I am promoting, but I think the light at the end of the tunnel is America's Got Talent. We're back I've actually been there for 12 years. This is our sweet 16th season, and it is the brightest, most explosive season we've ever had, and for many reasons. Number one, our boss, Simon Cowell, is back and healed and better than ever. You know, he broke his back last year. Heidi's back. She's well. And Sophia and Terry Crews. And it just seems like, we were the only show or the first show to be in production during the pandemic last year. And now to be out there in front of a live audience, explosive. Everybody is so excited to be there. Everybody is trying harder than they've ever tried. It's just amazing. You know, there's one kid that you'll see tonight. He's like 16 years old. He was in quarantine with his grandmother. He took her bed sheets. Speaking of making the bed, he took her bed sheets and he took them outside to the tree, and he learned on YouTube how to be an aerialist.
What?
And he's spectacular. It's amazing. So people are showing up with things they've never done before. People are just happy. I think this last year has put all our lives into perspective, and just do it. You were talking about Nike. I live by their theory of just do it, and that's what people are doing. And you'll see nurses tonight. I mean, this is... I no spoilers, but all these nurses that were on the front line in New York when you were the epicenter there, who have held the hands of people who didn't have their families around and were passing away, saw such tragedy, healed people, are real heroes. For their own well-being, they used to join together after work and sing, and they started a choir. You'll see them tonight. I think they're actually having a viewing party at Citi Field in New York. It is the most exciting live audience show. I think it'll make you feel like you're back to normal. So call your friends.
Yeah.
Call your neighbors.
That
Join
last
us. I
story
forgot
gave
if
me
there was a
chills.
question.
No, the nurses story just gave me chills.
Howie, we'll be watching. I'm a big fan of the show. I'm a big fan of you for a long time. Was there any hesitation for you going back? You mentioned you were one of the first shows in LA to get back to work. Your motto is just do it. Were you like, maybe I don't want to do it this time?
Well, I'm scared to leave my room. That's why I'm in bed while my wife makes it. So I'm afraid to show up anywhere. But I got to tell you that, because of COVID safety, our production company was probably the most safest place. They made me feel safer than I even feel in my own home. I mean, they took all the precautions. We're all vaccinated. And we got to perform again in front of a live audience. But it was done in such a professional, scientific way that it just made us feel. And people come from all over the world to be on our show. So, people would fly in from Europe and then have to be quarantined for 2 weeks and tested every day. And then they hit the stage, and there is a possibility that they could get buzzed off in 60 seconds and they'd have to fly home and be quarantined for another 2 weeks. So it meant so much more for these people, in fact, just to be out of their room.
Yeah, Howie, you mentioned the aerialists being innovative with the bed sheets, and you mentioned the nurses coming together. A lot of people have been talking about this post-pandemic world as a renaissance. Do you think that we're getting like that type of theme this season on America's Got Talent?
Yeah, I think that there is a palpable, and I've watched it also besides being there. I've seen moments from it, and there's a palpable feeling of that excitement to be released back into normality again, or even pivot and change directions. I've been an accountant for the last 40 years of my life, and now being through this pandemic and not knowing how I was going to end up, or even if I was going to make it out the other side, I've always dreamed of doing this. Now more than ever, I'm just gonna kick down that door and do it. So there's a palpable electricity for the people on stage, for us as judges, for Terry and the entire audience. I think that is going to be, it's going to cross over through the screen to the people at home.
Wow, it seems like the stakes are high.
I'm excited. I wanted to say it'll be viral, but I don't want to use the word viral anymore.
Good call. If anything, we learned that in the past year. Thank you again,
Well, that's
Howie.
why you shouldn't be looking for prairie dogs. That's not a pastime.
Hey,
that's
Howie.
silly.
Howie,
be honest, did you still want to do the show after you saw that segment?
I'm glad I'm here on whatever this is. I'm not with you. Don't go looking for prairie dogs.
I stay like 12 feet away.
Don't go looking for prairie dogs.
I can't.
That's stupid. It's not a pastime. You got a piece of video for the show.
It is a pastime.
You were 12 feet or 20 feet from the plague. Have you not learned anything in the last year?
We don't know if it had the plague. We do not know that. That is an assumption, a gross assumption at that, Howie. I said they
You're not even supposed to be outside looking for other humans without a mask.
Howie
Why are
Mandel?
you looking for the plague?
Howie, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget you can join Howie.
Listen to my podcast. Howie Mandel does stuff.
You can, don't forget to join America's Got Talent tonight on NBC.
Check out Howie's podcast.
Poor Sam.
We'll be right back. Bye, Howie.
Promotional consideration.
Pop quiz. Category: food. What's starchy, salty, and tastes best fresh out of the fryer? Give yourself 10 points if you guessed French fries, hash browns, or tater tots. So why are we talking about deep fried potatoes? Well, a study from 2017 is making the rounds on the internet again. This time, it claims eating French fries can lead to an early death. Well, this year's claim is slightly different than previous years. This claim is focused on how many times French fries are consumed in a week. So let's verify. Will you die earlier if you eat French fries or hash browns 2 to 3 times a week? Our sources: Dr. Kantha Shelke, food scientist, founder of Corvus Blue LLC, and visiting professor of food safety regulations at Johns Hopkins University. Angela Lehman, registered dietitian nutritionist, chief executive officer, and co-owner of Lehman Nutrition in Plano, Texas, and the national spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Kantha Shelke and Angela Lehman say there are several factors missing from the study.
Many of these people were they had other pre-existing conditions, arthritis, diabetes, etc. It did not look into their lifestyle, which is very important.
Maybe they're not exercising enough. They're eating, high-fat meats with that as well. They're drinking, a lot of sugar in their beverages. So what we need to see is the whole clinical picture of why these people are dying early. And so we can't really just say it's the French fries that's killing them.
1, 2, 3. Still alive. The claim that eating French fries and other fried potatoes 2 to 3 times a week will cause an early death is misleading.
Consuming French fries is not going to hurt you or kill you unless you did that in such a way that you excluded other good things with you. But if you like French fries in moderation, absolutely okay.
If you're worried about your fried potato intake, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest healthier alternatives like baking, roasting, steaming, grilling, or broiling. Want something verified? Email your questions to questions@verifythis.com or send a text to 202-410-8808. To check out more stories like this and sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com. Until then, I'm Ariane Till.
Show on Facebook or YouTube. We'll be right back.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Tori joins us from home. All right. So, are you working out? Getting ready to go there?
I don't know. That was bad. Keep going.
Tori, it wasn't bad. I'm glad that you're committed. Okay, so it was a big return to the movies this Memorial Day weekend. Disney's Cruella pulled in over $26 million in just 4 days. The movie was also released on Disney Plus at the same time, but the big weekend box office winner was John Krasinski's A Quiet Place 2. That made $57 million over the same 4 days. The movie was only available in theaters, and Amy Schumer gave the film some high praise on Instagram, but she took a jab at John and his wife and co-star Emily Blunt, joking that they have a pretend marriage for publicity. John responded by thanking Amy for blowing up his whole marriage spot. Okay, so Erica also went to the movies. So do you think this is the return of cinema or no?
Yeah.
Because I watched it at home in my couch, Cruella, via Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think so, as a person who returned to cinema after 10 to 12 years. But there was a big push in the theater, too, about how the movies are made for bigger screens. So just encouraging people to come back. But I also tell people, you can't just buy a ticket next to the person next to you at a lot of theaters. So that also gives it more of that, gotta get that ticket feel.
Exclusivity.
Exclusivity. Yeah, there's nothing like going to the theaters, though. I don't think it's the end of theaters. I thought it was during the pandemic, but apparently a lot of people I talk to, even in here, are like, I went to the movies this weekend because people just want to get back. I'm more on your speed because I have a 2- and 4-year-old. Disney Plus is the jam.
Oh, Disney Plus is the jam.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing Cruella because I love Emma Stone.
Wait till you see Cruella. Tori, Cruella rocked my world. This is going to sound like I made it up because how much time do you have in 2 days? I watched it twice. Both evenings, Friday evening and Saturday evening, Cruella. It is that fantastic. Have you been back to the theater?
No, and I'm a little nervous because of the air. Somehow I got to get over it and do the Erica thing and jump back in. I want to go see an IMAX about prairie dogs barking. Now that's going to be fun.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, Tori, I like it.
Held on to that.
What's hilarious, though, is all 4 of you, if you were walking and then all of a sudden you heard beep, 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 and you looked and you saw a ton of prairie dogs with babies, every single one of you would run up and look and be like, oh my gosh, that is so cute.
I'm going to call that a absolute not true.
Yes, you did. It is like Lawson, Layton, quick.
Not anymore. They have the plague.
No, they don't. I said they could possibly carry a plague. Possibly.
I'm glad that you brought this up because I have wondered. When I first moved here 12 years ago, you would see them everywhere. Now you don't see them as much, and I think it's because of development and all of these things, and people have been hunting them, for real hunting them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they're still
They're not
out
an
there.
infestation.
Why would
they
you hunt them if they're not an infestation?
People don't hunt them. I've never heard that mean a thing. Okay.
Michael Dean. Do you want to tell that story at commercial break? Yes.
No, I don't want to hear it. That sounds sad. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so Kate Winslet wants people to see her as she is. In an interview with the New York Times, Kate revealed that she fought to keep an unflattering sex scene in her HBO series, The Mayor of Easttown, which is fantastic. Jeff got me into it from being cut. In the scene, Kate, who is 45, said the director wanted to edit out a, quote, bit of a bulgy belly from the scene, but she told him not to, saying she wanted to stay true to her flawed character by matching her body and age in every way. She also sent the promo poster back twice because she said it was too retouched and that she knows how many lines she has on the side of her face. Wow. And if you see the show, to the viewers out there, you'll understand why it must have been so important for her and her character, because she looks like an everyday person, not like a star.
Yeah, I mean, listen, first of all, Kate Winslet had nothing to say about this. Why would they go ahead and change it without her knowing, right? If she had a problem with it, maybe you change it. There's a lot of stars that change their movie posters. But this is real, right? This is what people look like. And that's not Kate Winslet. That's Mare. Okay, so people are too intertwined with like actors and real, like in who they are in real life. She's playing a character, and her character is flawed like that. And even if she is in real life, that's her choice too. It's crazy how detailed everyone is and excruciating.
Excruciating.
I'm getting
no,
worked up.
I think you're asking the right question. Why was it done in the first place? And I think sometimes that is fundamentally the question we should be asking. Because if it wasn't done in order to enhance or drive the story, was it done because somewhere in post someone thought that it just wasn't palatable to show?
Ooh, Tori, that's a great question that Erica just brought up.
First of all, I agree completely with Erica. Second of all, it's the details that make the show. If anyone's seen it, it's a really slow burn. But the details of her drinking a Rolling Rock in the Pennsylvania, I'm going home, and eating the tinfoil sandwich in the car, right? That makes her the whole, you can smell Philly in that scene. So for her to not have a flab, that detail is important for so many reasons. So I totally love that she stuck with it.
Okay,
It's a great
first
show.
of all, it's a great show. Tori just totally made you turn it off. We were talking to me and Tori this morning, and you just took the cliff notes of everything we talked about and just spewed them back out. Taking a bite of tinfoil in the car, that's not what the show's about at all.
Yeah, but it's the realistic approach of, I don't have time, I'm a mom, I'm a detective, I gotta stuff my face. Kate Winslet wouldn't have done that, but this detective would have gone home and done that.
Yes?
Yeah, I actually agree with her. That's a character choice. That's a character choice. She doesn't have time to sit down at her
It's a
nearby
murder mystery
cafe,
show.
but she's shoving food in her face, eating tinfoil on accident because she's got bigger fish to fry.
So do I. Move on.
All right. The Rock is bulking up for his new film, but is he going too far? On Monday, The Rock posted this. Oh my goodness. He posted this pic on Instagram showing how buff he's getting for his upcoming superhero movie, Black Adam. He captioned his post saying he's been working extremely hard, training unlike any other role in his entire career. He also added that he is under the watchful eye of a strength and conditioning coach. Jeff, that's insane. Like, you know, lifting weights and stuff. That's insane.
Not like that. Erica knows more of that world than I do. But the dedication of The Rock, that's not surprising. He didn't look far from that. Wow. You know, every day, if you follow him on Instagram, he's very motivating. Works out every day, gets up at 4 in the morning, kind of going back to what we talked to, and then takes a nap at like 8 and then goes and does a movie for 12 hours.
Yeah, he is committed.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to commit, it is The Rock. But I'm glad that he did say he's under very strict conditioning and strength coaching and all of that, because you're going to need someone who really knows what they're doing. Most people aren't transforming their bodies like that on their own.
Can we see that photo one more time before we move on? Because that's crazy town.
For just journalistic reasons, right?
Oh my, no, because I'm not attracted to really muscular. Remember?
Well, your reaction said
remember
otherwise.
I like a dad bod? Remember? I like a dad bod.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember.
He doesn't
that
believe
fake
me.
answer.
But it's not a fake answer. That's true. I just can't believe how he looks like a monster. My gosh. It's crazy. Okay, we're going to move on to this other story that you guys have a lot of opinions on. Things are getting messy in the divorce between Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler. TMZ is reporting that Jay wants 50% of Kristen's Uncommon James lifestyle and clothing brand. Kristen allegedly claims that she doesn't owe Jay any part of the company because he didn't put any money into it. The company was featured on the reality show Very Cavallari. In one episode, Jay was seen interacting with employees, and in another, Kristen said Jay did not own half the company, even though he claims he did. The couple did sign a prenup before their wedding in 2013. Yikes. Tori, you've told me so many stories that you have, been privy to because of your dad being an attorney, of how this happens or seems to happen with so many couples. Even if you have an ironclad contract that says this person is not part of my business, somehow it's up in the air. How is that fair?
It becomes like a weird trauma and sort of a therapy session for the lawyers. So it becomes an ego thing, it becomes an I own this thing, and at one point, millions of dollars could be up, and you're fighting over Beanie Babies. There's a very famous case and a picture of two divorce attorneys separating their Beanie Baby collection, and it's almost absurd. So at this point, you got to trust that your lawyers know what they're doing, and to stay out of the press, and to kind of shut up. That's my
Beanie
advice
Babies are worth
to both
millions.
of them.
I'd fight over those Beanie Babies
not anymore. Are they still retaining value?
Well, they were.
Oh, okay.
What do you make of this? You love Kristen Cavallari, or your wife does.
My wife, yeah. And so this morning we were fighting about this before I left. She was on the phone with her friend, and Jordan was like, and she's like, Jay should get half. And I was surprised. I'm like, I don't think so. Even if he gave a down payment, say, this is exactly the fight we're having with me and my wife. I'm like, if he gave her $100,000, right? And then you make $20 million off that $100,000, what do you recoup off of that? You don't get half, right? You got to pay back the loan, maybe with some interest, but you don't get half. My theory was she's with somebody that he doesn't like, and he's being spiteful now because he's sitting on $100 million at least, just being a quarterback in the NFL. So he doesn't need this money. So I'm thinking there's spite involved.
Well, of course there's spite involved. Anytime you're going to really go at each other, then it's like, oh, y'all really loved each other. You know, like they just can't let go. I do think it is important that people have, whether you're living with someone, like a cohabitation agreement or cohabitation agreement, or if you're married, like there should be some sort of understanding. Like for my company, my husband owns a percentage of my company. I own the same percentage of his company. So it's just that understanding to be like, all right, listen, this is what we're going to do to try not to have these conversations in the future. Pray that never happens.
We pray, girl. We knock on wood. But let me tell you, businesses are, I'm really knocking on wood here. Businesses are another baby, right? That's your blood, your sweat, and your tears. And I know my husband and I have a business together, but my husband has poured way more blood, way more sweat, and way more tears into our candle company than me. So I can't imagine ever being that spiteful, knowing how much sacrifice that is.
What if you slept with your best friend and they were going to get married?
I'm getting your company. I see the blood, sweat, and tears, but I hear you. Okay, so sad news in the world of television. Actor Gavin Mcleod has died at the age of 90. He had been ill for some time, but his cause of death hasn't been released. Gavin was known for his role as the steadfast captain Steubing on the Love Boat. He played the role for 10 years and also returned for 2 Love Boat specials, if you remember, back in the 90s. But he got his big break playing news writer Marie Slaughter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He earned 2 Golden Globe nominations for the role, and Ed Asner, who played Mr. Grant, of course, on the show, paid tribute to his former co-star. He tweeted, quote, "My heart is broken. Gavin was my brother, my partner in crime, and my comic conspirator. Tell the gang I will see them in a bit. Betty, as in Betty White, it's just you and me now." Wow. I mean, that's family. We know we've been together 4 years here on this show. We are family, right? And that's never going to go away. Even if we go on to different things, hopefully not. We hear knock on wood.
We just need like a wood block right next to you.
Just a wood block right here. Yeah. But right, like that, you're losing a family member.
I remember watching him when I was a little kid on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Yeah, and I mean, if you look at his IMDb, the list of credits this guy had, what an amazing career. And then Ed Asner's tweet I almost cried. It's just me and you, Betty.
I know.
Tell the crew I'll see you soon.
I know.
I mean, such iconic television. When you do something like that, hopefully we get there, knock on wood.
I'm gonna not.
I mean, you're part of history. You made history. Mary Tyler Moore's part of history now. You know, and like, there's no better.
It
like, what a great career. Yeah, it did. That
tweet
really choked me up because that's coming to an end now.
Oh my goodness, I know. All right, well, coming up on DBL, how long do you think you could last in the wilderness? Oh boy, we actually did a whole half-hour episode of all of us camping.
Not all of us.
Yeah, the average time most people say they can survive before things go south. And our DBL staff is working hard at home. Hopefully, we'll see you all again in the studio soon. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
There are 2 main reactions to those videos. One is, aw, cute. The other one is, ew, don't they know we're in a pandemic? But as more people are getting vaccinated, some couples are currently in a spot where one partner is vaccinated and the other one isn't. And that can make sharing a kiss a little awkward. A verified viewer who wants to remain anonymous wrote to us asking, can a fully vaccinated person give COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing? So, my anonymous kissing bandit, this one is for you. Let's verify. Our sources, the Mayo Clinic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Stuart Ray, professor at Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Yes, you can spread it, and yes, you can contract it, but the risk is a lot lower than it was before being vaccinated.
And Dr. David Sullivan, a professor of molecular biology and immunology at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health.
So theoretically, yes, but the chances are low.
A recent article from the Mayo Clinic confirms COVID-19 can be transmitted through kissing, stating coming into contact with a person's spit through kissing or other sexual activities could expose you to the virus. And both doctors and the CDC agree. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still contract COVID-19.
There is some residual risk of transmission, and as long as community rates are high, then I think we ought to exercise some caution.
So we can verify this as true. It is possible for a vaccinated person to spread COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing. But according to both doctors, it has more to do with your proximity to each other than the actual kissing. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till. Want something verified? Email us or send us a text. For more Verify stories and to sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com.
Welcome back to DBL. Remember the movie Castaway? If you need a refresher, Tom Hanks' character survives 4 years in the wilderness after getting stranded on an island. But that's Hollywood. What about in real life? Could people like you and me really make it that long? According to a new survey, most adults think they have what it takes to survive 2 weeks in the wild. Well, here's the kicker. Not even 15% of the people who answered knew how to make a fire. So let's go around the horn. How long do you think you would last?
In the wild, I think I could go 10 to 14 days. Like, someone's got to find me.
Even though we beat you at building a fire, Tori and I, and doing a tent and pitching a tent. I think we have footage of that, don't we?
First of all, Al ruined my fire. He threw live grass on my fire.
And why doesn't live grass light?
You tell me, expert.
There's moisture in it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, here we go. Tori and I won the fire challenge.
No.
And we also won. That's the wrong challenge.
Yeah, we won. That's the end. That's the finale.
No, you won the digging up a flag challenge.
No, that's the finale.
Yeah.
We won the show. If you go back and watch.
You won digging up a flag.
We won the show.
Who won pitching a tent?
There's winners and there's losers, and we won.
Who won pitching a tent and building a fire? The wilderness challenges.
Me and Al.
No, you didn't. Tori and I did. And Erica did not want to be a part of it.
Oh, no, Erica was not there, as has been represented by clips over clips over clips, because the answer to how long am I surviving in the wilderness would be absolutely 0 seconds and 0 minutes, which is the reason why I was the only one not to go to the woods, because I wouldn't have come back and this show would have been called The Cobb Family Show.
No, okay. I don't believe Erica one bit. This girl is a survivalist. This girl, you look at the back of her SUV, it is filled with cans. It is filled with water. It is filled with flares. God forbid. Blankets.
That's in case we get stuck in traffic. Not wilderness.
Tori hated it. Tori was definitely an anchor for me. She dragged me down.
I thought you were going to say she held you down.
It's kind of a metaphor for the show.
Tori, you hated it. Be honest. You hated it.
I hated it. I'll just tell you this. I had a full sinus infection and I called someone on production to get me. I think it was Patty, and she's in the studio right now.
Patty.
And I said, please come get me. And she was asleep in the warm little van or whatever she had. So I was left there. I hated every second of it. Every second.
Let me tell you, it was cold that
Every
night.
second.
How cold did it get?
It was pretty cold.
I think it was like 21 degrees.
You know what helps? When you zipper your tent.
I know, we didn't zip our tent.
How long could you and Tori make it out there? Like logistic, how long, or realistic, how long could you make it out?
I would make it the 2 weeks.
You could stay out there 2 weeks?
Hands down.
What?
Would
You
I
could take it out by a
enjoy
prairie
it?
dog.
What?
You have the plague after 2 weeks.
Would I enjoy it? No. But do I have a mommy bear instinct? Yes.
No, you get eaten by a mommy bear.
No. We'll be right back.
We all know that movement is like
Texas Democrats took a bold step to make sure the House would not be able to pass a voting restrictions bill. They walked out before the vote could happen. Let's connect the dots. Every state has a minimum number of lawmakers that have to be there to vote to pass a bill. It's called a quorum. Here in Tar Heel State, only a majority of lawmakers have to be there. But since everything's bigger in Texas, their state constitution says there have to be 2/3 of their voting members present, or it's a no-go. Walkouts are a pretty rare occurrence. In fact, nationwide, there have only been 8 major walkouts in the past 100 years. But political experts say that as politics becomes increasingly partisan, this could become a more common occurrence. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by Lifelock. As air travel ramps up with more people being vaccinated, the Better Business Bureau is warning consumers of a rise in airfare scams. So scammers are reportedly targeting people by selling airline tickets through fake booking sites or customer service numbers. So to avoid falling victim to these con artists, make sure to research the company before making a purchase. Also, double check the URL to make sure you are using a secure site. And lastly, use your credit card just in case you need to dispute the charges. When it comes to your financial assets, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. So call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Wow, and there's so many of those like airfare sites, you would never know.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Because I'm always looking for a deal.
Me too.
Right.
I'd get caught by, yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like a lot of people are looking for great deals because they don't have the money to pay like the premiums that you go somewhere else. So the idea that you're being preyed upon, even when you're trying to like, it's just, people suck.
I know.
Amen.
I mean, come on, just
always a new
get a job.
It's a good bumper sticker.
There's probably one out there. We'll be right back.
Pop quiz, category, food. What's starchy, salty, and tastes best fresh out of the fryer? Give yourself 10 points if you guessed French fries, hash browns, or tater tots. So why are we talking about deep fried potatoes? Well, a study from 2017 is making the rounds on the internet again. This time, it claims eating French fries can lead to an early death. Well, this year's claim is slightly different than previous years. This claim is focused on how many times French fries are consumed in a week. So let's verify. Will you die earlier if you eat French fries or hash browns 2 to 3 times a week? Our sources: Dr. Kantha Shelke, food scientist, founder of Corvus Blue LLC, and visiting professor of food safety regulations at Johns Hopkins University. Angela Lehman, registered dietitian, nutritionist, chief executive officer, and co-owner of Lehman Nutrition in Plano, Texas, and the national spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Kantha Shelke and Angela Lehman say there are several factors missing from the study.
Many of these people were they had other pre-existing conditions, arthritis, diabetes, etc. It did not look into their lifestyle, which is very important.
Maybe they're not exercising enough. They're eating, high-fat meats with that as well. They're drinking, a lot of sugar in their beverages. So what we need to see is the whole clinical picture of why these people are dying early. And so we can't really just say it's the French fries that's killing them.
1, 2, 3. Still alive. The claim that eating French fries and other fried potatoes 2 to 3 times a week will cause an early death is misleading.
Consuming French fries is not going to hurt you or kill you unless you did that in such a way that you excluded other good things with you. But if you like French fries in moderation, absolutely okay.
If you're worried about your fried potato intake, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest healthier alternatives like baking, roasting, steaming, grilling, or broiling. Want something verified? Email your questions to questions@verifythis.com or send a text to 202-410-8808. To check out more stories like this and sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com. Until then, I'm Ariane Till.
Chauvin's conviction stand? Legal expert Dan Abrams weighs in. How likely is it that Derek Chauvin will get a new trial? That's tomorrow, right here on DBL.
Wow. And we want to give another thank you to Howie Mandel for being on the show, and a reminder to check out his hilarious podcast, Howie Mandel Does Stuff, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Tori, you got some comments?
Yeah, so it's all about prairie dogs. No, I'm kidding. So Veronica wrote in and said, Tori hated that camping trip. She looked miserable, which is great for the self-esteem. Thanks, Veronica. And Rebecca says, when will DBL do another camping trip?
Oh, I don't know.
You know that was good for bonding.
It was great.
Yeah.
Not on Mother's Day weekend, but it was great.
Y'all have the most revisionist history. I remember the glares and the questions that were asked when you returned to the studio, especially Tori. Tori straight up KO'd to me and she's like, how did you get to not go? And I said, well, they asked, and I said no. And she goes, that was an option?
Please, listen, Tori had the plague from a prairie dog. Remember, and she still wanted to go. She's like, I can't miss out.
She got me sick.
So
I got sick that night. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Today on Daily Blast Live.
Tennis champ Naomi Asaka pulls out of the French Open for her mental health after refusing to talk to the media, the praise and the backlash. The simple change in your daily routine that could lower your depression risk by more than 20%. Kate Winslet's body image battle, why she fought to keep this love scene unedited in her new miniseries. And we're chatting live with comedian and TV host Howie Mandel.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Patty. Welcome to DBL. It is Tuesday, June 1st. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Miss Tori joins us from home. All right, so how was everyone's Memorial Day weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
I did have a great weekend. So I was discussing just last week how I haven't been to the movies in like 100 years. And our kiddos wanted to go to the movies, so we went to see Raya and the Last Dragon, which was so
good?
amazing.
Okay.
It was. It was really good. I guess it's coming out on Disney Plus later in the month. But it was awesome. We were the only ones in the theater. Like, we had the theater to ourselves, like just the four of us, which was great because the 7-year-old had a lot of questions. A lot of questions, and the questions continued throughout the entire movie. But it was awesome. The seats reclined.
Oh, so you haven't been there in a minute, girl.
Yeah, I was like,
so tell me. So you never had reclining seats?
I've never had a reclining seat.
The food being delivered?
The food was delivered. I mean, I was so excited because they were like, oh, do you want to see Cruella? We didn't even know. And they're like, no, we want to see Raya. And I'm like, is that a movie? So I'm Googling, you know. And then I found the theater, and I'm like, okay, well, I better get the seats right away because, of course, it's only in an hour. And then I'm doing the seats, and it's like, would you like to add concessions? And I was like, well, of course. And then it said, would you like it delivered? I'm like, oh, yes, absolutely. And I had like all the backup layers because throughout the movie, they decide they don't want just popcorn. Now they want Sour Patch Kids. And who got the Sour Patch Kids before they even asked? It was all in the bag. Everything was in the bag.
And Jeff and I know the best way to silence kids is snacks. So the more snacks, the better. So we went on an excursion this weekend. Yes, we did. We went prairie dog hunting. And when I say hunt, I mean look for. I don't mean hurt, because you know how much I love animals.
Yeah, I was very confused.
There's a field, and I have video, but let's not play. Oh, okay, that's okay. You can play it. There's one of them. Listen, everyone listen. Wait, not the truck. Ready? Here he goes. So you don't see them because they blend in and camouflage so well, you have to listen for them. So we had our ears out, listening. They make that barking noise. They kiss. And guess what else? Babies, you guys. So many itty bitty babies, but you can't get too close because I learned after the fact, they carry the plague.
Girl, them rodents.
Wait, that's not the reaction I expected. You wouldn't want to take Lawson and Layton, not close, but you wouldn't want to take them on a...
animals that could possibly give them the plague?
No, you don't get that close to them. You wouldn't want to go see little prairie dogs barking, kissing babies.
I think they're an infestation. I don't think they're like...
No, they're actually quite important to the environment.
I don't think so. I think they destroy the environment.
No, I Googled it. They aerate the land. Okay.
Which means create holes in the ground.
Okay, it's time to move on. Okay, we got to talk about this next story because let me tell you, you all have an opinion on it. Let's discuss it. Did you all hear about Naomi Asaka? The tennis star has withdrawn from the French Open and announced she's stepping back from tennis. This comes just days after her announcement that she would not do press because of her mental health struggles. She also revealed a lot more about it, saying on Twitter that she's had bouts of depression, social anxiety, and a fear of public speaking. Naomi's decision has a lot of tennis stars speaking out, some defending her, while others players are talking about how doing press is part of the job. So Billie Jean King said, while it's important that everyone has the right to speak their truth, I have always believed that as a professional athlete, we have a responsibility to make ourselves available to the media. And check out Serena Williams and Patrick McEnroe's take on it.
The only thing I feel is that I feel for Naomi. I feel like I wish I could give her a hug because I know what it's like.
She is a professional tennis player. She's an athlete, so you have to abide by certain rules, one of which is speaking to the press on a regular basis.
Okay, so Tori, should all players have to do press? What mental health considerations are necessary in your opinion?
Well, first off, she's not a thing. Like, I feel like I appreciate Patrick McEnroe's take, and I understand it was in her contract, but this was a deliberate protest against the idea that I'm a thing that needs to be paraded around when I'm an introvert. I don't like public speaking. She's not an actress in the entertainment industry. She's an athlete, and she's a human being with emotion. So I like her protest, and the best part about it is they tried to double down, and she just left. Now who's watching the French Open? Nobody. So at some point, they've got to revisit this idea that every athlete is something to dangle in front of us for us to clap at, in my opinion.
But she signed a contract, and she's got to abide by that contract. This is no different just because she has an anxiety disorder. This is football, basketball, all the sports, right? If you don't show up to your press conference, you get fined. That's just the way this is. So until she figures that out, until tennis figures that out, you're a professional athlete. We pay you a lot of money. A lot of people pay a lot of money to come see you. We might take a piece of your purse if you no longer want to do press. Maybe that's how they figure it out.
Well, and that's what they did.
Her consequence,
and she also acknowledged that that was going to be done. I think that we're having this conversation a little too early, and it kind of irks me that people aren't coming out in her defense like Billie Jean King and McEnroe and talking about the rules, because these are rules that they never had to truly abide by because they didn't live in the era of social media. I mean, those are really great examples about basketball and baseball and football players, but those are team sports. This is a single person, and she's a very young woman. And I also think we need to at least acknowledge when someone is crying out for help, we try to help them, not exploit the situation. And on top of it, she has Black heritage, Asian heritage, and this past year has been ridiculous and so mentally draining. So the idea that she might need to take a step back is 100% something that we should be encouraging and not putting up more roadblocks or criticizing her for it, especially not right now.
I wonder if you can meet in the middle, and I don't say that because I don't want to take a stance. I just say that as, listen, I've undergone some mental health battles here. I still had to go to my bosses and say, listen, I'm struggling right now. This is what I have to do. And apparently she did speak to some people. She wrote a letter and she had her manager reach out. So to Jeff's point, I do think when you sign a contract, there are obligations that you have to honor. However, it should be fluid in my mind. If you're falling short in some way and your mental health should be just as important as your physical health, that you reach out and you say, hey, Nike, this is where I'm at right now. I can't do it. And I would only hope that Nike would be super supportive. But you can't just go around them. Is that where you're coming from?
Yeah, but then you have to abide by the contract that she signed, right? I'm sure there'd be some kind of medium ground in there, but they could tell her, no, you owe us that money. Like,
well, she can't die over it.
Yeah.
I would think they would listen to her.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen, to move on after this, gave a great quote one time. He goes, you don't get paid to do the movie. You get paid to do the press after the movie. That's the fun part. You got to promote that movie and promote your brand. And that's what I think Nike would have a problem with.
We're just in a different time, but I'm glad that we're in a different time where we can talk about it, where athletes are not seen as just purely entertainment. They're seen as human beings. But I do think that we're in a gray area, so I understand where Jeff's coming from and where you and Tori are coming from. All right, coming up on DBL, A Quiet Place Part 2. It opens to a huge box office haul, and people finally are they ready to go back to the movies in a post-pandemic world? Erica was. Plus, we're chatting live with comedian, oh, there he is, what? Oh, my goodness, where did that hand come from? There he is, America's Got Talent judge, Howie Mandel. Get ready to laugh. And the new reason to not sleep in while you'll want to rise and shine at least an hour earlier. Say it isn't so.
Closed caption.
There are two main reactions to those videos. One is, "Aw, cute." The other one is, ew, don't they know we're in a pandemic? But as more people are getting vaccinated, some couples are currently in a spot where one partner is vaccinated and the other one isn't. And that can make sharing a kiss a little awkward. A verified viewer who wants to remain anonymous wrote to us asking, can a fully vaccinated person give COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing? So, my anonymous kissing bandit, this one is for you. Let's verify. Our sources, the Mayo Clinic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Stuart Ray, professor at Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Yes, you can spread it, and yes, you can contract it, but the risk is a lot lower than it was before being vaccinated.
And Dr. David Sullivan, a professor of molecular biology and immunology at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health.
So theoretically, yes, but the chances are low.
A recent article from the Mayo Clinic confirms COVID-19 can be transmitted through kissing, stating coming into contact with a person's spit through kissing or other sexual activities could expose you to the virus. And both doctors and the CDC agree. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still contract COVID-19.
There is some residual risk of transmission, and as long as community rates are high, then I think we ought to exercise some caution.
So we can verify this as true. It is possible for a vaccinated person to spread COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing. But according to both doctors, it has more to do with your proximity to each other than the actual kissing. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till. Want something verified? Email us or send us a text. For more Verify stories and to sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com.
Welcome back to DBL. Are you an early riser or a night owl that likes to sleep in? Well, it turns out a huge new study says that waking up just 1 hour earlier could reduce the risk of depression by 23%. According to experts, one possible reason is because more exposure to light during the day could help influence mood. So, do you think you could wake up an hour earlier? And what would you do with that extra time? What do you think, Tori? Oh, Tori's not happy.
I like to sleep in, but here's the thing, Sam. I wake up with an enormous amount of anxiety, and I have a lot of energy, and that energy goes nowhere. So I hear that, but I just don't have the discipline yet to get into it. But I should, because that's when I have the most anxiety, is right when I wake up, and I really should get it out with sweat.
You're an early riser.
I am. Yeah, I do it that way because that way I'll work out, and then I have like an accountability with someone to work out, so I get up early to get that done. Also, I wouldn't work out after work.
Yeah, they say if you want to work out, you got to work out first thing in the morning. I'm trying my darndest to get Miles to sleep an extra hour. So no, this study does not apply to me right now. Miles is waking up at 5:05, 5:10 every morning. I'm trying to get him to sleep until like 6:05. So no, I'm not about this study. You, Jeff?
Yeah, I'm with it. Just for like your mental health. If you could get up an hour earlier and just do something productive to give yourself a task that you accomplish before you start your day, you're naturally going to feel better about yourself throughout your day.
A domino effect.
Yeah, if you sleep in, I heard this Captain McRaven, I listen to these positive quotes all the time. He said, just start your day by making your bed. You already accomplished one task for the day, and then it gives you positive, you snowball that throughout the rest of the day. If you wake up late, you're running, you forget to eat breakfast, you forget to do something, you run your job, how do you think you're going to feel when you get there?
Scattered.
Not great, right?
Yeah. Do you make your bed every day?
Yes.
Do you make your bed every day?
No.
No. Tori, do you make your bed every day? Do I have to ask?
Yes.
Wow, Jeff, I'm proud of you.
I only did it because that General McRaven says start your day.
I thought it was Captain McRaven.
He's way up there.
You said Captain
he got a
General.
promotion. He got a promotion.
I don't know the rankings, but he's way up there because I get it confused. I got McRaven right. Google it. It's a great speech.
Corporal, you know.
He might be. He's up there. I don't know what's
Coming up on DBL, the subtle way Kate Winslet is promoting body positivity in her new HBO miniseries, Mayor of Easttown. And coming up next, we're talking live. There he is. Oh, he's got a wig. What happened to the hand? We certainly could have used a hand on the last segment. He's here live. Yep, the hilarious Howie Mandel. Don't go away.
Texas Democrats took a bold step to make sure the House would not be able to pass a voting restrictions bill. They walked out before the vote could happen. Let's connect the dots. Every state has a minimum number of lawmakers that have to be there to vote to pass a bill. It's called a quorum. Here in Tar Heel State, only a majority of lawmakers have to be there. But since everything's bigger in Texas, their state constitution says there have to be 2/3 of their voting members present, or it's a no-go. Walkouts are a pretty rare occurrence. In fact, nationwide, there have only been 8 major walkouts in the past 100 years. But political experts say that as politics becomes increasingly partisan, this could become a more common occurrence. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Today's special guest is a close friend of the show and a legend in both television and comedy. He's also back for his 11th season. Can you believe it? As a judge on America's Got Talent. We're talking about the new season, which kicks off, by the way, tonight on NBC. Please welcome Howie Mandel. There he is. So, Howie, I don't know if you...
There I am. I wasn't the guy dancing. I'm the guy right here.
Yes, exactly. But I don't know if you heard some of our previous stories, but we want to know if you, because you were really open, and you've been open, of course, about your obsessive compulsive disorder. Does that mean that you have, like, your bed made every day, that everything is organized as well, or no?
Well, talking about the bed being made, I think, number one, and I commend anybody from the tennis player to you guys to talk about mental health and removing the stigma, getting up early. My wife does that. My wife will get up an hour early and make the bed. And then it takes me another 2 hours to get out of the bed because she made it with me in it, and everything's tucked under. I've been trapped under a duvet for over 2 hours against my will. So talk about mental health. Wow.
My husband makes the bed with me in it.
No, he does
yes,
not.
He does.
Are you kidding me?
Straightens out the bed.
Wow.
I wasn't kidding. My wife does with me in it.
That would just make me want to keep sleeping all day long because I like a cozy, perfect bed. But Howie, you were
swaddled.
Swaddled is the right word. Oh, right. Yeah. Now that the pandemic is in hindsight, is there anything that could have made the pandemic easier for people with OCD?
No, and I don't know that it's in hindsight. I've been living this nightmare my entire life, and it just seems like you guys all joined into my nightmare. Right. So nothing has made it easier. I've moved my therapist into a whole new tax bracket this year. I've doubled my meds, and I think the panacea for everyone is tonight on NBC. And I'm not saying that to just promote. I am promoting, but I think the light at the end of the tunnel is America's Got Talent. We're back I've actually been there for 12 years. This is our sweet 16th season, and it is the brightest, most explosive season we've ever had, and for many reasons. Number one, our boss, Simon Cowell, is back and healed and better than ever. You know, he broke his back last year. Heidi's back. She's well. And Sophia and Terry Crews. And it just seems like, we were the only show or the first show to be in production during the pandemic last year. And now to be out there in front of a live audience, explosive. Everybody is so excited to be there. Everybody is trying harder than they've ever tried. It's just amazing. You know, there's one kid that you'll see tonight. He's like 16 years old. He was in quarantine with his grandmother. He took her bed sheets. Speaking of making the bed, he took her bed sheets and he took them outside to the tree, and he learned on YouTube how to be an aerialist.
What?
And he's spectacular. It's amazing. So people are showing up with things they've never done before. People are just happy. I think this last year has put all our lives into perspective, and just do it. You were talking about Nike. I live by their theory of just do it, and that's what people are doing. And you'll see nurses tonight. I mean, this is... I no spoilers, but all these nurses that were on the front line in New York when you were the epicenter there, who have held the hands of people who didn't have their families around and were passing away, saw such tragedy, healed people, are real heroes for their own well-being. They used to join together after work and sing, and they started a choir. You'll see them tonight. I think they're actually having a viewing party at Citi Field in New York. It is the most exciting live audience show. I think it'll make you feel like you're back to normal. So call your friends, call your neighbors,
That
join
last
us. I
story
forgot
gave
if
me
there was a
chills.
question.
No, the nurses story just gave me chills.
Howie, we'll be watching. I'm a big fan of the show. I'm a big fan of you for a long time. Was there any hesitation for you going back? You mentioned you were one of the first shows in LA to get back to work. Your motto is just do it. Were you like, maybe I don't want to do it this time?
Well, I'm scared to leave my room. That's why I'm in bed while my wife makes it. So I'm afraid to show up anywhere. But I got to tell you that, you know, because of COVID safety, our production company was probably the most safest place. They made me feel safer than I even feel in my own home. I mean, they took all the precautions. We're all vaccinated. You know, and we got to perform again in front of a live audience. But it was done in such a professional, scientific way that it just made us feel. And, you know, people come from all over the world to be on our show. So, you know, people would fly in from Europe and then have to be quarantined for 2 weeks and tested every day. And then they hit the stage, and there is a possibility that they could get buzzed off in 60 seconds and they'd have to fly home and be quarantined for another 2 weeks. So it meant so much more for these people, in fact, just to be out of their room.
Yeah, you know, Howie, you mentioned the aerialists being innovative with the bed sheets, and you mentioned the nurses coming together. A lot of people have been talking about this post-pandemic world as a renaissance. Do you think that we're getting like that type of theme this season on America's Got Talent?
Yeah, you know, I think that there is a palpable, and I've watched it also besides being there. I've seen moments from it, and there's a palpable feeling of that excitement to be released back into normality again, or even pivot and change directions. You know, I've been an accountant for the last, 40 years of my life, and now being through this pandemic and not knowing how I was going to end up, or even if I was going to make it out the other side, I've always dreamed of doing this. Now more than ever, I'm just going to, kick down that door and do it. So there's a palpable electricity for the people on stage, for us as judges, for Terry and the entire audience. I think that is going to be, it's going to cross over through the screen to the people at home.
Wow, it seems like the stakes are high.
I'm excited. I wanted to say it'll be viral, but I don't want to use the word viral anymore.
Good call. If anything, we learned that in the past year. Thank you again,
Well, that's
Howie.
why you shouldn't be looking for prairie dogs. That's not a pastime. That's
Howie.
silly.
Howie.
Howie,
It's not
did you
a
still want to do the show after you saw that segment?
I'm glad I'm here on whatever this is. I'm not with you. Don't go looking for prairie dogs.
I stay like 12 feet away.
Don't go looking for prairie dogs.
I can't.
No, it's just, that's stupid. It's not a pastime. You got a piece of video for the show.
It is a pastime.
You were 12 feet or 20 feet from the plague. Have you not learned anything in the last year?
We don't know if it had the plague. We do not know that. That is an assumption, a gross assumption at that, Howie. I said they
You're not
came
even
here.
supposed to be outside looking for other humans without a mask.
Howie
Why are you
Mandel?
looking for the plague?
Howie, thank you for stopping by. Don't forget you can join Howie.
Listen to my podcast. Howie Mandel does stuff.
You can, don't forget to join America's Got Talent tonight on NBC.
Check out Howie's podcast.
Poor Sam.
We'll be right back. Bye, Howie.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Pop quiz, category, food. What's starchy, salty, and tastes best fresh out of the fryer? Give yourself 10 points if you guessed French fries, hash browns, or tater tots. So why are we talking about deep fried potatoes? Well, a study from 2017 is making the rounds on the internet again. This time, it claims eating French fries can lead to an early death. Well, this year's claim is slightly different than previous years. This claim is focused on how many times French fries are consumed in a week. So let's verify. Will you die earlier if you eat French fries or hash browns 2 to 3 times a week? Our sources: Dr. Kantha Shelke, food scientist, founder of Corvus Blue LLC, and visiting professor of food safety regulations at Johns Hopkins University. Angela Lehman, registered dietitian, nutritionist, chief executive officer, and co-owner of Lehman Nutrition in Plano, Texas, and the national spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Kantha Shelke and Angela Lehman say there are several factors missing from the study.
Many of these people were they had other pre-existing conditions, arthritis, diabetes, etc. It did not look into their lifestyle, which is very important.
Maybe they're not exercising enough. They're eating, high-fat meats with that as well. They're drinking, a lot of sugar in their beverages. So what we need to see is the whole clinical picture of why these people are dying early. And so we can't really just say it's the French fries that's killing them.
1, 2, 3. Still alive. The claim that eating French fries and other fried potatoes 2 to 3 times a week will cause an early death is misleading.
Consuming French fries is not going to hurt you or kill you unless you did that in such a way that you excluded other good things with you. But if you like French fries in moderation, absolutely okay.
If you're worried about your fried potato intake, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest healthier alternatives like baking, roasting, steaming, grilling, or broiling. Want something verified? Email your questions to questions@verifythis.com or send a text to 202-410-8808. To check out more stories like this and sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com. Until then, I'm Ariane Till.
The show on Facebook or YouTube. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff and Erica. Tori joins us from home. All right, so, are you working out? Getting ready to go there?
I don't know. That was bad. Keep going.
Tori, it wasn't bad. I'm glad that you're committed. Okay, so it was a big return to the movies this Memorial Day weekend. Disney's Cruella pulled in over $26 million in just 4 days. The movie was also released on Disney Plus at the same time, but the big weekend box office winner was John Krasinski's A Quiet Place 2. That made $57 million over the same 4 days. The movie was only available in theaters, and Amy Schumer gave the film some high praise on Instagram, but she took a jab at John and his wife and co-star Emily Blunt, joking that they have a pretend marriage for publicity. John responded by thanking Amy for blowing up his whole marriage spot. Okay, so Erica also went to the movies. So do you think this is the return of cinema or no?
Yeah.
Because I watched it at home in my couch, Cruella, via Disney Plus.
Yeah, I think so, as a person who returned to cinema after 10 to 12 years. But there was a big push in the theater, too, about how the movies are made for bigger screens. So just encouraging people to come back. But I also tell people, you can't just buy a ticket next to the person next to you at a lot of theaters. So that also gives it more of that, gotta get that ticket feel.
Exclusivity.
Exclusivity. Yeah, there's nothing like going to the theaters, though. I don't think it's the end of theaters. I thought it was during the pandemic, but apparently a lot of people I talk to, even in here, are like, oh, I went to the movies this weekend because people just want to get back. I'm more on your speed because I have a 2- and 4-year-old. Disney Plus is the jam.
Oh, Disney Plus is the jam.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing Cruella because I love Emma Stone.
Wait till you see Cruella. Tori, Cruella rocked my world. This is going to sound like I made it up because how much time do you have in 2 days? I watched it twice. Both evenings, Friday evening and Saturday evening, Cruella. It is that fantastic. Have you been back to the theater?
No, and I'm a little nervous because of the air. Somehow I got to get over it and do the Erica thing and jump back in. I want to go see an IMAX about prairie dogs barking. Now that's going to be fun.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, Tori, I like it.
Held on to that.
What's hilarious, though, is all 4 of you, if you were walking and then all of a sudden you heard beep, 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 and you looked and you saw a ton of prairie dogs with babies, every single one of you would run up and look and be like, oh my gosh, that is so cute.
I'm going to call that a absolute not true.
Yes, you did. It is like Lawson, Layton, quick.
Not anymore. They have the plague.
No, they don't. I said they could possibly carry a plague. Possibly.
I'm glad that you brought this up because I have wondered. When I first moved here 12 years ago, you would see them everywhere. Now you don't see them as much, and I think it's because of development and all of these things, and people have been hunting them, for real hunting them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they're still
They're not
out
an
there.
infestation.
Why would you hunt them if they're not an infestation?
People don't hunt them. I've never heard that mean a thing. Okay.
Michael Dean. Do you want to tell that story at commercial break? Yes.
No, I don't want to hear it. That sounds sad. I don't want to hear it. Okay, so Kate Winslet wants people to see her as she is. In an interview with the New York Times, Kate revealed that she fought to keep an unflattering sex scene in her HBO series, The Mayor of Easttown, which is fantastic. Jeff got me into it from being cut. In the scene, Kate, who is 45, said the director wanted to edit out a, quote, bit of a bulgy belly from the scene, but she told him not to, saying she wanted to stay true to her flawed character by matching her body and age in every way. She also sent the promo poster back twice because she said it was too retouched and that she knows how many lines she has on the side of her face. Wow. And if you see the show, to the viewers out there, you'll understand why it must have been so important for her and her character, because she looks like an everyday person, not like a star.
Yeah, I mean, listen, first of all, Kate Winslet had nothing to say about this. Why would they go ahead and change it without her knowing, right? If she had a problem with it, maybe you change it. There's a lot of stars that change their movie posters. But this is real, right? This is what people look like. And that's not Kate Winslet. That's Mare. Okay, so people are too intertwined with like actors and real, like in who they are in real life. She's playing a character, and her character is flawed like that. And even if she is in real life, that's her choice too. It's crazy how detailed everyone is and excruciating.
Excruciating.
I'm getting
no,
worked up.
I think you're asking the right question. Why was it done in the first place? And I think sometimes that is fundamentally the question we should be asking. Because if it wasn't done in order to enhance or drive the story, was it done because somewhere in post someone thought that it just wasn't palatable to show?
Ooh, Tori, that's a great question that Erica just brought up.
First of all, I agree completely with Erica. Second of all, it's the details that make the show. If anyone's seen it, it's a really slow burn, but the details of her drinking a Rolling Rock in the Pennsylvania, I'm going home, and eating the tinfoil sandwich in the car, right? That makes her, the whole, you can smell Philly in that scene. So for her to not have a flab, that detail is important for so many reasons. So I totally love that she stuck with it.
Okay.
It's a great show.
First of all, it's a great show. Tori just totally made you turn it off. We were talking to me and Tori this morning, and you just took the cliff notes of everything we talked about and just spewed them back out. Taking a bite of tinfoil in the car, that's not what the show's about at all.
Yeah, but it's the realistic approach of I don't have time, I'm a mom, I'm a detective, I gotta stuff my face. Kate Winslet wouldn't have done that, but this detective would have gone home and done that.
Yes?
Yeah, I actually agree with her. That's a character choice. That's a character choice. She doesn't have time to sit down at her
It's a
nearby
murder mystery
cafe,
show.
but she's shoving food in her face, eating tinfoil on accident because she's got bigger fish to fry.
So do I. Move on.
All right. The Rock is bulking up for his new film, but is he going too far? On Monday, The Rock posted this. Oh my goodness. He posted this pic on Instagram showing how buff he's getting for his upcoming superhero movie, Black Adam. He captioned his post saying he's been working extremely hard, training unlike any other role in his entire career. He also added that he is under the watchful eye of a strength and conditioning coach. Jeff, that's insane. Like, you know, lifting weights and stuff. That's insane.
Not like that. Erica knows more of that world than I do. But the dedication of The Rock, that's not surprising. He didn't look far from that. Wow. You know, every day, if you follow him on Instagram, he's very motivating. Works out every day, gets up at 4 in the morning, kind of going back to what we talked to, and then takes a nap at like 8 and then goes and does a movie for 12 hours.
Yeah, he is committed.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to commit, it is The Rock. But I'm glad that he did say he's under very strict conditioning and strength coaching and all of that, because you're going to need someone who really knows what they're doing. Most people aren't transforming their bodies like that on their own.
Can we see that photo one more time before we move on? Because that's crazy town.
For just journalistic reasons, right?
Oh my, no, because I'm not attracted to really muscular, remember?
Well, your reaction said
remember
otherwise.
I like a dad bod? Remember? I like a dad bod.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember.
He doesn't believe me. But it's not a fake answer, that's true. I just can't believe how he looks like a monster. My gosh, it's crazy. Okay, we're going to move on to this other story that you guys have a lot of opinions on. Things are getting messy in the divorce between Kristen Cavallari and Jay Cutler. TMZ is reporting that Jay wants 50% of Kristen's Uncommon James lifestyle and clothing brand. Kristen allegedly claims that she doesn't owe Jay any part of the company because he didn't put any money into it. The company was featured on the reality show Very Cavallari. In one episode, Jay was seen interacting with employees, and in another, Kristen said Jay did not own half the company, even though he claims he did. The couple did sign a prenup before their wedding in 2013. Yikes. Tori, you've told me so many stories that you have, been privy to because of your dad being an attorney, of how this happens or seems to happen with so many couples. Even if you have an ironclad contract that says this person is not part of my business, somehow it's up in the air. How is that fair?
It becomes like a weird trauma and sort of a therapy session for the lawyers. So it becomes an ego thing, it becomes an I own this thing, and at one point, millions of dollars could be up, and you're fighting over Beanie Babies. There's a very famous case and a picture of two divorce attorneys separating their Beanie Baby collection, and it's almost absurd. So at this point, you got to trust that your lawyers know what they're doing, and to stay out of the press, and to kind of shut up. That's my
Beanie
advice
Babies are worth
to
millions.
both of them.
I'd fight over those Beanie Babies
not
too.
anymore. Are they still retaining value?
Well, they were.
Oh, okay.
What do you make of this? You love Kristen Cavallari, or your wife does.
My wife, yeah. And so this morning we were fighting about this before I left. She was on the phone with her friend, and Jordan was like, and she's like, Jay should get half. And I was surprised. I'm like, I don't think so. Even if he gave a down payment, say, this is exactly the fight we're having with me and my wife. I'm like, if he gave her $100,000, right? And then you make $20 million off that $100,000, what do you recoup off of that? You don't get half, right? You got to pay back the loan, maybe with some interest, but you don't get half. My theory was she's with somebody that he doesn't like, and he's being spiteful now because he's sitting on $100 million at least, just being a quarterback in the NFL. So he doesn't need this money. So I'm thinking there's spite involved.
Well, of course there's spite involved. Anytime you're going to really go at each other, then it's like, oh, y'all really loved each other. You know, like they just can't let go. I do think it is important that people have, whether you're living with someone, like a cohabitation agreement or cohabitation agreement, or if you're married, like there should be some sort of understanding. Like for my company, my husband owns a percentage of my company. I own the same percentage of his company. So it's just that understanding to be like, all right, listen, this is what we're going to do to try not to have these conversations in the future. Pray that never happens.
We pray, girl. We knock on wood. But let me tell you, businesses are, I'm really knocking on wood here. Businesses are another baby, right? That's your blood, your sweat, and your tears. And I know my husband and I have a business together, but my husband has poured way more blood, way more sweat, and way more tears into our candle company than me. So I can't imagine ever being that spiteful, knowing how much sacrifice that is.
What if you slept with your best friend and they were going to get married?
I'm getting your company. I see the blood, sweat, and tears, but I hear you. Okay, so sad news in the world of television. Actor Gavin Mcleod has died at the age of 90. He had been ill for some time, but his cause of death hasn't been released. Gavin was known for his role as the steadfast captain Steubing on the Love Boat. He played the role for 10 years and also returned for 2 Love Boat specials, if you remember, back in the 90s. But he got his big break playing news writer Murray Slaughter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. He earned 2 Golden Globe nominations for the role, and Ed Asner, who played Mr. Grant, of course, on the show, paid tribute to his former co-star. He tweeted, quote, "My heart is broken. Gavin was my brother, my partner in crime, and my comic conspirator. Tell the gang I will see them in a bit. Betty, as in Betty White, it's just you and me now." Wow. I mean, that's family. We know we've been together 4 years here on this show. We are family, right? And that's never going to go away. Even if we go on to different things, hopefully not. We're knock on wood.
We just need like a wood block right next to you.
Just a wood block right here. Yeah. But right, like that, you're losing a family member.
I remember watching him when I was a little kid on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. Yeah, and I mean, if you look at his IMDb, the list of credits this guy had, what an amazing career. And then Ed Asner's tweet I almost cried. It's just me and you, Betty. Tell the crew I'll see you soon.
I know.
I mean, such iconic television. When you do something like that, hopefully we get there, knock on wood.
I'm gonna not.
I mean, you're part of history. You made history. Mary Tyler Moore's part of history now, you know, and like, there's no better.
It
like, what a great career. Yeah, it did. That
tweet
really choked me up because that's coming to an end now.
Oh my goodness, I know. All right, well, coming up on DBL, how long do you think you could last in the wilderness? Oh boy, we actually did a whole half-hour episode of all of us camping.
Not all of us.
Yeah, the average time most people say they can survive before things go south. And our DBL staff is working hard at home. Hopefully, we'll see you all again in the studio soon. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
There are 2 main reactions to those videos. One is, aw, cute. The other one is, ew, don't they know we're in a pandemic? But as more people are getting vaccinated, some couples are currently in a spot where one partner is vaccinated and the other one isn't. And that can make sharing a kiss a little awkward. A verified viewer who wants to remain anonymous wrote to us asking, Can a fully vaccinated person give COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing? So, my anonymous kissing bandit, this one is for you. Let's verify. Our sources: the Mayo Clinic, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Stuart Ray, professor at Johns Hopkins Medicine.
Yes, you can spread it, and yes, you can contract it, but the risk is a lot lower than it was before being vaccinated.
And Dr. David Sullivan, a professor of molecular biology and immunology at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health.
So theoretically, yes, but the chances are low.
A recent article from the Mayo Clinic confirms COVID-19 can be transmitted through kissing, stating coming into contact with a person's spit through kissing or other sexual activities could expose you to the virus. And both doctors and the CDC agree. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still contract COVID-19.
There is some residual risk of transmission, and as long as community rates are high, then I think we ought to exercise some caution.
So we can verify this as true. It is possible for a vaccinated person to spread COVID-19 to an unvaccinated person through kissing. But according to both doctors, it has more to do with your proximity to each other than the actual kissing. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till. Want something verified? Email us or send us a text. For more Verify stories and to sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com.
To DBL. Remember the movie Castaway? If you need a refresher, Tom Hanks' character survives 4 years in the wilderness after getting stranded on an island. But that's Hollywood. What about in real life? Could people like you and me really make it that long? According to a new survey, most adults think they have what it takes to survive 2 weeks in the wild. Well, here's the kicker. Not even 15% of the people who answered knew how to make a fire. So let's go around the horn. How long do you think you would last?
In the wild, I think I could go 10 to 14 days. Like, someone's got to find me.
Even though we beat you at building a fire, Tori and I, and doing a tent and pitching a tent. I think we have footage of that, don't we?
First of all, Al ruined my fire. He threw live grass on my fire.
And why doesn't live grass light?
You tell me, expert.
There's moisture in it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, here we go. Tori and I won the fire challenge.
No.
And we also won. That's the wrong challenge.
Yeah, we won. That's the end. That's the finale.
No, you won the digging up a flag challenge.
No, that's the finale. Yeah. We won the show. If you go back and watch.
You won digging up a flag.
We won the show.
Who won pitching a tent?
There's winners and there's losers, and we won.
Who won pitching a tent and building a fire? The wilderness challenges.
Me and Al.
No, you didn't. Tori and I did. No, you didn't. And Erica did not want to be a part of it.
Oh, no, Erica was not there, as has been represented by clips over clips over clips, because the answer to how long am I surviving in the wilderness would be absolutely 0 seconds and 0 minutes, which is the reason why I was the only one not to go to the woods, because I wouldn't have come back and this show would have been called The Cobb Family Show.
No, okay. I don't believe Erica one bit. This girl is a survivalist. This girl, you look at the back of her SUV, it is filled with cans. It is filled with water. It is filled with flares. God forbid. Blankets.
That's in case we get stuck in traffic. Not wilderness.
Tori hated it. Tori was definitely an anchor for me. She dragged me down.
I thought you were going to say she held you down.
No,
it's kind of a metaphor for the show.
Tori, you hated it. Be honest. You hated it.
I hated it. I'll just tell you this. I had a full sinus infection, and I called someone on production to get me. I think it was Patty, and she's in the studio right now.
Patty.
And I said, please come get me. And she was asleep in the warm little van or whatever she had. So I was left there. I hated every second of it. Every second.
Let me tell you, it was cold that
Every
night.
second.
How cold did it get?
It was pretty cold.
I think it was like 21 degrees.
You know what helps? When you zipper your tent.
I know, we didn't zip our tent.
How long could you and Tori make it out there? Like logistic, how long, or realistic, how long could you make it out?
I would make it the 2 weeks.
You could stay out there 2 weeks?
Hands down.
What?
Would
You
I
could take it out by a
enjoy
prairie
it?
dog.
What?
You have the plague after 2 weeks.
Would I enjoy it? No. But do I have a mommy bear instinct? Yes.
No, you get eaten by a mommy bear.
No. We'll be right back.
We all know that movement is like that.
Texas Democrats took a bold step to make sure the House would not be able to pass a voting restrictions bill. They walked out before the vote could happen. Let's connect the dots. Every state has a minimum number of lawmakers that have to be there to vote to pass a bill. It's called a quorum. Here in Tar Heel State, only a majority of lawmakers have to be there. But since everything's bigger in Texas, their state constitution says there have to be 2/3 of their voting members present, or it's a no-go. Walkouts are a pretty rare occurrence. In fact, nationwide, there have only been 8 major walkouts in the past 100 years. But political experts say that as politics becomes increasingly partisan, this could become a more common occurrence. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by Lifelock. As air travel ramps up with more people being vaccinated, the Better Business Bureau is warning consumers of a rise in airfare scams. So scammers are reportedly targeting people by selling airline tickets through fake booking sites or customer service numbers. So to avoid falling victim to these con artists, make sure to research the company before making a purchase. Also, double check the URL to make sure you are using a secure site. And lastly, use your credit card just in case you need to dispute the charges. When it comes to your financial assets, LifeLock is here to help. LifeLock keeps you and your digital identity secure from cyber criminals. So call 1-800-439-9017 or visit lifelock.com to learn more. Wow, and there's so many of those like airfare sites, you would never know.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Because I'm always looking for a deal.
Me too.
Right.
I'd get caught by, yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like a lot of people are looking for great deals because they don't have the money to pay like the premiums that you go somewhere else. So the idea that you're being preyed upon, even when you're trying to like, it's just, people suck.
I know.
Amen.
I mean, come on, just
always a new
get a job.
It's a good bumper sticker.
There's probably one out there. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Pop quiz. Category: food. What's starchy, salty, and tastes best fresh out of the fryer? Give yourself 10 points if you guessed French fries, hash browns, or tater tots. So why are we talking about deep fried potatoes? Well, a study from 2017 is making the rounds on the internet again. This time, it claims eating French fries can lead to an early death. Well, this year's claim is slightly different than previous years. This claim is focused on how many times French fries are consumed in a week. So let's verify. Will you die earlier if you eat French fries or hash browns 2 to 3 times a week? Our sources: Dr. Kantha Shelke, food scientist, founder of Corvus Blue LLC, and visiting professor of food safety regulations at Johns Hopkins University. Angela Lehman, registered dietitian, nutritionist, chief executive officer, and co-owner of Lehman Nutrition in Plano, Texas, and the national spokesperson for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Dr. Kantha Shelke and Angela Lehman say there are several factors missing from the study.
Many of these people were they had other pre-existing conditions, arthritis, diabetes, etc. It did not look into their lifestyle, which is very important.
Maybe they're not exercising enough. They're eating, high-fat meats with that as well. They're drinking, a lot of sugar in their beverages. So what we need to see is the whole clinical picture of why these people are dying early. And so we can't really just say it's the French fries that's killing them.
1, 2, 3. Still alive. The claim that eating French fries and other fried potatoes 2 to 3 times a week will cause an early death is misleading.
Consuming French fries is not going to hurt you or kill you unless you did that in such a way that you excluded other good things with you. But if you like French fries in moderation, absolutely okay.
If you're worried about your fried potato intake, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest healthier alternatives like baking, roasting, steaming, grilling, or broiling. Want something verified? Email your questions to questions@verifythis.com or send a text to 202-410-8808. To check out more stories like this and sign up for our newsletter, go to verifythis.com. Until then, I'm Ariane Till.
Tomorrow on DBL, will Derek Chauvin's conviction stand? Legal expert Dan Abrams weighs in. How likely is it that Derek Chauvin will get a new trial? That's tomorrow, right here on DBL.
Wow. And we want to give another thank you to Howie Mandel for being on the show, and a reminder to check out his hilarious podcast, Howie Mandel Does Stuff, available wherever you listen to podcasts. Tori, you got some comments?
Yeah, so it's all about prairie dogs. No, I'm kidding. So Veronica wrote in and said, Tori hated that camping trip. She looked miserable, which is great for the self-esteem. Thanks, Veronica. And Rebecca says, when will DBL do another camping trip?
Oh, I don't know.
You know, that was good for bonding.
It was great.
Yeah.
Not on Mother's Day weekend, but it was great.
Y'all have the most revisionist history. I remember the glares and the questions that were asked when you returned to the studio, especially Tori. Tori straight up KO'd to me, and she's like, how did you get to not go? And I said, well, they asked, and I said no. And she goes, that was an option?
Please, listen, Tori had the plague from a prairie dog. Remember, and she still wanted to go. She's like, I can't miss out.
She got me sick.
So
I got sick that night. DBL's new every day. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Thank you.